Beyond Saltmarsh is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language, explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
The Rhine. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Hi. How are ya? I'm Dave, your humble dungeon master, and I'm excited to be back in the wonderful world of Greyhawk with my good friends. Dare I say, my good buddies. Hello, good buddies. How are you tonight?
Oh,
I am Matt.
hello.
Oh my, look at all these
good.
beautiful faces. We're all happy to be here. There's snow in the Northland. I don't know what it's like on where you are, but it's cold and snowy here. A lot of shoveling. That's all I can say. My arms hurt. I don't know what else to tell you.
Hasn't snowed here yet all year.
Really?
Yeah, we're supposed to
thought
get
you
some
guys-
tomorrow.
Yeah, I
snow
thought there
here
was some-
either.
Wow.
That's Virginia. West Virginia's fucked right now, I hear.
I'm a county away from the West Virginia line, so it's coming.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be nice to have a white Christmas.
It's past Christmas.
Oh shit! What day is it?
It is January I don't know. I can't count anymore.
It's the 5th already. Holy shit!
Oh, a
Thank
blur.
you, Chad. Chad is our official timekeeper, and we appreciate that. Speaking of time, we have a lot to do tonight, folks, friends, people. So let's get to it. We're gonna do some introductions here, and thanks Andy G3D for the resub, buddy.
Did I just
What a
unlock
guy.
the emoji?
I sure hope you did.
Oh,
If you
I
did,
sure
use
hope
it.
I did too.
Use it.
All right.
you know what?
We're gonna go around the table, introduce yourself, introduce your character, and a lot of crazy hijinks happened last week. If you're joining us and you didn't see last week's episode, go back and watch it. Not right now, but later. Some folks revealed a couple of things that maybe they wouldn't normally have revealed because they were drinking. So if you have something that you want to remind folks about as a result of that interesting event last week, I should say, please do so. Let's go ahead and start with Ashley.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ashley. I just recently joined Twitter, so you can find me
Hey.
at Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter. So please do. I play Feyre Evenstar, and she is a glamour bard. And you may have noticed if you watched last game, I spilled a ton of information about her. And one thing you may have noticed is her accent is fake. So I switched back and forth between a Southern to a kind of upper class Englishy-ish accent on purpose. And we also found out Feyre's father is a noble of some kind, or her stepfather is a noble of some kind. Her last crew were pirates, and she has a bounty on her. So much shenanigans.
Much shenanigans indeed. Let's go next to Michael.
Hey, I'm Michael. I play Theo, or Theodoric the Lacetus, the not a necromancer. He also got drunk and spilled a little bit last week, like how he's going to collect the bounty on Feyre. No, wait. No, it was the opposite. He wasn't going to collect that bounty. I think he talked Byron out of doing the same, but we'll see. Also, yeah, it turns out his dad is also kind of a noble, more of a knight. And he's very angry about the fact that he's not. So he's loving a few things about becoming more knightly, but he's not really great at it. It's fascinating. Other than that, he made it through The Hangover.
Great movie.
Well, somebody had to make it through that movie. I'm kidding. I was a big fan. And that's all I recall off the top of the head. The rest will come up, I'm sure, when I think about it later in game.
All right, thank you, Michael. Let's go to Andy. Andy, does Dag have any daddy issues to talk about?
Wow.
I don't know.
You know, nobody's ever asked him about his family, so
That's why we got
No.
drunk.
They're scared
that.
to. They're scared.
I
You
didn't go out
understand
and
this,
party
right?
and over divulge. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy. I am playing Rhunar Deg, 9th level human, dual sword, Battlemaster, fighter, captain of the good buddy. And yeah, my character was hungover and sleeping last episode, so because I wasn't here.
I
So
always
I don't know
forget to
any
do
of this
this.
stuff.
I always forget to put the character art up there. Dang it. I just did. It's amazing. You got to
Hey.
check it out. There he is. Rhunar Deg, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, you played it safe last night on the ship. So that's you at least have your pride still intact. Let's go ahead and move on over to Kirk.
Hello, I'm Kirk. I play Byron Hearn, resident mischief maker, first level bird. As of last episode, briefly, only for a little bit. He didn't divulge too much. He didn't share very much, in fact, at all. Yeah, he just had some drinks and had a good time. Nothing else happened.
I feel like you shared
Really?
your insides.
Nothing.
We all remember.
Yeah.
We all remember.
A little
Nothing to
something
see
happened.
here. Nothing to, yeah, a little tiny something.
Eked
All right,
out.
thanks,
Yeah.
Kirk. Yep, something slipped out for him last week. Let's go to Chad. Oh, his camera's frozen.
He's frozen. He's locked up.
This is a great bit. I love this bit.
hello.
Look at that lag.
It's me. It's me, Chad, sometimes known as North Shore DM, sometimes known as Real CMG. Today I'm known as Tenoch Knucklebones,
Ew.
resident halfling, deck wizard, divination, witch, puncher of things, dancer of dreams. I don't remember anything that I have revealed,
But you are a great therapist.
but I am evidently
That's
a good
true.
therapist. That's right. I had to help. I had to help you.
Get his clothes back on because
Yeah. Also,
we all
that-
know what happened.
that
Thank you,
was
Chad.
yeah.
Hey, we've got a couple of announcements. Andy, why don't you give us a quick announcement on whatever you have to give us? We
We
never know.
have merch. You better believe we have merch. We got so much merch. We sell it online to the public. We got t-shirts. We got sweatshirts.
Ooh.
Long
Represent.
sleeve t-shirts. We got onesies for the babies. We got masks so you don't pass on that Rona.
Oh, yeah.
Wall art, notebooks, coffee mugs. Come on. Come pick it up. Support your local stream.
That's
Buy some
right.
merch.
Let's see. I have an announcement. I want to say a big shout out and thank you to our campaign sponsors at CZRPG. These are the fine folks who create 5th edition's Dungeons and Dragons content, game settings, character options, adventures, tons of maps. Tonight, we are lucky to be giving away a copy of the Encounters in Saltmarsh supplement. And this thing is pretty awesome. It is 46 pages of pure, luscious content. 12 encounters and micro adventures. A new stat block. How dare you,
What?
CZRPG? 16 unique maps, 49 total maps with different versions, grids, gridless. You name it, they got it. 6 ship tokens, which we've used right here on Beyond Saltmarsh. Just type in !drawing and you'll be entered to win. We're going to go ahead and draw a winner at the end of the stream. So, yeah, it's as simple as that. !drawing. North Shore DM's already in there. Let's do this. Thank you to Christian. Really quick, I wanted to mention, this is kind of big news. CZRPG has kicked off their Patreon. And we're going to drop a link in the chat for you guys. Go check it out. He has teamed up with Mimic Maps. And they are giving away each month 4 maps, beautiful maps. And then with each of those, there's adventures that are built in, like hooks and encounters. So go check that out. It's pretty rad. They are awesome. They've supported us. We want to support them. Chad, did you have something you wanted to add to that?
I do. I just want to make sure everybody knows that yes, it says we're giving away the Countess von Zarevich.
Oh,
We
does
are,
it?
in fact, giving away, just like Dave said, encounters in Saltmarsh.
Yes, we
Just wanted to
are.
make- Just wanted to
I
make
will
sure.
fix that right now. Do we have
case
any other announcements?
Join us tomorrow
Thank you.
on Thursday at this time for our campaign wrap up and Q&A of Beyond Saltmarsh. I'm sorry, not Beyond Saltmarsh.
Are we
Of
done?
Midwinter
We're done.
Keening.
It's over, guys.
That's that. Of,
Hey, good
of
night. Take your
Midwinter,
waiters.
of Midwinter Keening, the Svealand based game that we were playing on Thursdays. So join us. That should be fun. We're gonna have some chit chat. There'll probably be a little bit of role playing for the wrap up part of the denouement part, and then just some chit chat. I'm sure we'll take questions from anyone who has questions about the game out there in audience land. We'll talk a little bit about what's happening next.
So much planned.
So, prepare yourself.
I'm excited.
That's all I got.
Now, will we be able to ask questions of each other too? Because I got lots of
Absolutely.
questions.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Q&A. I love it. Awesome. Thank you, Chad. Anything else, or should we do this?
Let's do it.
Let's jump into a recap, my friends, from last week. There's so much that we could talk about if we so chose to talk about such things. Let's see what we have here. In our last episode, the Deg Gang made landfall in Nerisban, a bustling port town nestled in a protected cove on the eastern end of the South Olman Isle. You had a brief, albeit informative, encounter with Portmaster Magnic Herrera. You learned about Captain Vincent Solana's imprisonment within the old fort. You learned about how old Mag lost his leg to sharks in Amadio Bay. And you got directions to the Black Anemone, Nerisban's finest tavern. You anchored the Good Buddy in the harbor, paddled your dinghy into town, leaving Rhunar to rest and recuperate while the rest of you got the lay of the land. You lashed your small dinghy to a dock and left it under the capable stewardship of a fellow by the name of Henry. You strolled through the docks district, abuzz with activity, and arrived at the Black Anemone, itself busy despite the hour, because it was, my friends, the wee hours of the morning. Well, early morning anyways. With the humidity of the morning inspiring you to libations, you took a seat at one of the long beer hall style tables outside and ordered an exotic drink and a few orders of wings, seasoned with the classic Ullman rub. You then discussed your plan. Chad, by the way, you need to develop that rub and we need to have wings. Let's do that. Okay. You then discussed your plan to sell cargo and gain access to the incarcerated Solana. You also engaged in a brief conversation with sailors sitting at the opposite end of the table who provided some advice on selling cargo. Namely, they suggested talking to a man named Falch Mins. And when the server returned with the wings, you ordered something called the Fire Giant Gut Punch, which got the attention of some of the other patrons that were sitting nearby. The Gut Punch arrived, a toast was made, and the rest of the morning is only recalled in bits and pieces by the four of you. But for those of us on the other side of the fourth wall, the rest of the day was complete chaos. Thank you very much. Feyre vomited a gout of flame and burst into a river of inebriated tears, while Theo jumped onto a table and removed his clothing. Byron and Tenoch sought to console their friends' sorrows with their expert drunken advice. And with this strange ritual, Feyre became a good buddy. And someone's better judgment called for a room and a bit of time to sober up. En route to said room, Byron attempted to nip a patron's coin purse, managing to start a confrontation that was quickly diffused by a captivating tune from our dramatic bard. The party managed to retire to a private room, but not before the rogue pulled a heavy coin purse from another patron. As the party promptly passed out, you notice I glossed over a few things, Theo managed to work a bit of arcane study, and with the help of his Hexblade companion, Calistani was able to harness a bit more of the mysterious energy of the sigils that he'd seen in his dream the night before. With that, he too drifted to sleep. Now, upon waking, you found that the day had passed, and revelry called to you from the tavern below. Sending word to Captain Deg, Byron was polymorphed into an osprey and flew out to the ship. And that, my friend, is where we will begin tonight's session.
Thought it was a Bloodhawk.
It
Was
might
a
have been a
Bloodhawk.
Bloodhawk. And that, my friends, is where we will be. It doesn't matter, Kirk. And that, my friends, is where we will begin tonight's session. On the deck of the good buddy, Captain Dag and Byron, now in each other's presence.
Captain, gosh, you look.
What the hell
like
was
shit
that?
Still. Oh man, you look terrible. Why aren't you sleeping?
I slept it off.
Oh man.
I feel much better now.
Oh dude, oh gosh. If you could have seen everyone, we were just at the Black and me, and I'm pretty sure Theo and Tenoch crapped themselves.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, dude. I'm pretty
sounds
sure I
like
saw.
quite the
I
party.
mean, yeah, I don't. They were getting wild, man. They were getting wild. I was just trying to mind my own business, chill,
long
get
as-
the lay of the land, try and figure out how we're gonna get rid of some of this cargo. And they were just like, "Let's do a gut punch, high five!" And then Tenoch would high five Theo, and Theo would fly through the wall, and then all the patrons would go wild. And Faye was like serenading. Oh my gosh, you missed so much. It was.
Well, it
I
sounds like-
had to get out of there, man. So I learned how to turn into a bird. Here I am.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it sounds like you guys had a good time. Sorry to have missed it.
Yeah, we're sorry you missed it too.
As
But
long as
we
nobody
should-
got arrested.
Nobody got arrested that I know of. But I did leave a while
Yet.
ago. It was probably 10 minutes ago. So. And I think they're probably still partying, to be honest.
All right. I could use a drink. I'm not
I'm good. I don't
drinking
think I'm gonna
anything
drink
called
anymore.
a gut punch, though.
As the two of you are talking, we will flash back over to the tavern where Tenoch, Theo, and Feyre are standing amongst the revelry.
So, you guys want to get arrested?
Like right now?
Well,
Uh,
I mean, it'd be one way to get him to talk to Captain Solana.
Or we could just go over and talk to him first.
Just an idea.
Yeah, we don't need to try to break ourselves out
I mean,
and
it
then
wouldn't be that hard.
feasibly break him out. But yeah, I think just going to talk to him.
Yeah,
Find it
usually there's a plan A.
Well, that was my plan A. What's your plan A?
Plan A is just talking to him.
Well,
Plan
how do
like
you,
D should be getting
do you think
arrested.
they're going to just let us walk into the jail and talk to someone? Have you spent a lot of time in jail?
Grease enough palms. Grease enough
Tenoch has
palms,
clearly
I'm
spent
sure we
enough
can.
time in jail.
I've been
Um,
around the whatever that place is called, the Pirate Kingdoms enough. Is that what it's called? I forgot.
The Sea Prince's
The
hold.
hold.
The Sea Princess, yeah.
Yeah, I've been around. You've been around the hold enough. The right amount of coin gets you into a lot of doors.
That is very true. Do you think we should do that now, or should we wait for word from the captain?
How fast do you think you can get over here?
Well, he's got all the money.
He also has a boat. Our boat is still sitting on the dock, which has probably been stolen now by that man who was watching it. So we should probably go check on that boat.
That's
That
a
would
good
be
idea.
constructive. Let's go. Let's
That
go check
guy,
on the boat.
that guy couldn't sail that boat even if all of us were there.
No, but he might be willing to look the other way if someone pays him gold to walk away because we were there too long. Let's go.
That's feasible.
Theo is
All
going to
right.
go check on the boat, and hopefully people will come too.
I'm going with.
All right, so you leave the tavern and head out into the night, the dark night of Nurisban. It is, as you exit the tavern, you can see that the tables out in front where you had been sitting before partying and drinking and conversing are filled with people. There are servers bustling about. It is, kind of like an Oktoberfest almost kind of vibe. There are people singing songs and people getting, close to as drunk as the four of you had been earlier in the morning, but at a little bit more appropriate time for that kind of behavior. But they are
any time is appropriate when
just
you're
a
a
little
pirate.
just a little judgment. No, they're it's very festive as you walk out and see all this happening, and you enter into the night air. Let's quickly snap back over to the captain and Byron. What is your plan? Are you going to stay on the ship? Are you going to head into town? It is nighttime. There is one other dinghy on the Good Buddy, Farah's, that you found her in.
Byron, were the rest of them coming back?
I don't think so. I feel like I remember them saying something about round 2. I'm really not sure what's gonna happen, man. Should we go find them?
Well, I guess I'm a little tempted. Been on this boat forever.
I vaguely remember where we parked. The other dinghy. We have the crappy dinghy. I could, with the help of some of the guys, tar it up.
We still have this other one.
It's not in the greatest shape, but I've seen worse.
Throwing shade at Feyre's dinghy, I swear.
Survived an explosion.
So that's the plan for you guys? You sort of snap to with some of the crew members and prepare the second dinghy for launch?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You do that. You get the help of the crew, no problem. It hits the water. You climb in and you begin rowing this boat over to where you believe you left the first dinghy. Meanwhile, the others are headed in that same direction. How convenient.
Hey.
There are people still working on some of the ships. There are many torches lit. It kind of, you get the feeling that there's just business and there are things happening here around the 24 hours a day. And so there's plenty of activity on the docks as you make your way back to the dock that you left the dinghy. And lo and behold, as you arrive, you see a man sleeping in your dinghy. It's Henry.
Well, that's
and he is
fine.
snoring very loud.
Well, then it's safe at least.
I think the smell is enough to keep anyone away.
I guess the real question now is, how do we find the captain when he gets here?
Right as you say that, you hear the splash of paddles.
Eldritch
And
Blast.
you look up, and there is a mysterious dinghy paddling in your direction.
Feyre, I think your boat has been pirated.
Well, is it really pirated? Well, we're all pirates, right?
They have
No, we're not pirates.
intent.
We are not actually pirates. We are many things.
Oh,
We are a
that's
lot of
right.
fucking things. We are not pirates.
Well, you just said he pirated my boat,
Well-
so doesn't that make him a pirate?
Well, he may be a pirate then, in which case it's up to us to stop him.
Hey, there you guys are.
Sir, why are you a pirate?
I was born this way.
Fair enough. Feeling better, Captain?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little better now. What are you guys up
Looks
to?
like shit.
We were checking
Coming or
on the boat
going?
to make sure it was still here.
Oh, all right.
We are recovering.
Are you heading back to the boat?
We have no idea. We were hoping to figure out how to talk to you to figure out what to do next.
All right.
I suppose I'm no longer in command then.
Well, I guess maybe we should go back to the boat then.
Why would we go back to the boat?
Well, I mean, it's nighttime. Where are we gonna?
You know Captain Solana's here, right?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yes.
You found out some
We-
information
it's
about him.
It is one of those good news, bad news situations. Good news, Captain
Okay.
Solana is Bad news,
In
he's
jail.
in jail.
Hmm.
I already floated the idea of getting arrested to go interrogate him, but other people have brought up this idea of maybe just bribing our way in and talking to him like adults.
That would be much easier.
I'm sure it'll go simply and easily, and they'll let us in right away.
How late is it, Dave? Is it just after sundown or?
No, it's late into the night.
Oh, okay.
That's actually probably the best time to bribe our way in there, because no one will see us coming and going.
I mean, I'll give it a shot if you think it's worth it.
I don't have a better idea, and we are here to talk to Captain Solana, technically, and sell our shit.
I'm willing to bet the head guard in charge is probably not there this late.
Also, important side note, we haven't found anyone yet to buy our shit. There is a merchant guild in town, but it
No more
sounds
guild.
like some fishy shit happened with a false min who may have blown up the guild. I don't know if that was a figurative blown up or potentially a literally blown up. It's a little hard to tell around here.
All right.
Oh, and Byron definitely did not shit his pants.
Right. No, yeah, I didn't
So
do
you
that.
guys all shit your pants.
Definitely, every last one of us, even everyone on the boat, yourself included. So
How are you
embarrassing
guys
you cannot
doing?
implicate anyone.
I'm too hungover for this.
I don't smell it. You guys should smell. I don't smell anything.
You know that two of us can magically clean anything, right?
Oh, that's right.
We should be smelling like roses right now.
And one of us is
I
from
went
the
with
jungle.
a clove. I make
Oh,
him
you-
smell like jasmine.
You do you.
All right.
That's why it smells like the 90s.
Do we know where this jailhouse is?
Okay, apparently that is the Iron Water, or the old fort is where the jail is.
As you're having this conversation, you hear,
What's that? Hey, I'm trying to sleep over here. What's going
Okay.
on?
Okay.
Well,
All
we
right.
wanted to make sure our boat was still here, so we thought we'd check
No,
out
I'm
to make
watching
our
this
was-
boat.
I know. Here's
Keeping an eye on it for somebody.
Yeah, it's us. We're the people you're keeping an eye on it for.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Here, gives him another gold coin. Keep up
Okay.
the work.
Watch this other one too, would ya?
More gold, I'll do it.
That's pretty pricey to watch a boat. How much does it cost?
2 gold per boat.
2 gold per
Pretty
boat.
cheap.
No, Captain, for around here, they wanted 600 gold a day for a dock.
Yeah,
I didn't say yes to that because I respect you and the coffers.
that was a wise decision.
Also, because
okay.
you would have killed me in my sleep.
I'll toss the guy a couple gold.
Go. All right, I'll stick around.
Thanks, Henry.
You're welcome.
Get some more rest.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Good work.
thank you.
Guys, let's pop back in. Let's go a little further away from our boats. Let's let Henry sleep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I want to look around a little bit.
You should really go to the Blackened Enemy. It's great. Do not get the gut punch, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
don't do
jumping right
that.
now.
I'm gonna say that the warning is in the name. You know, like, I mean, did you guys, consider the fact that it was named Gut Punch?
I don't know if they led with that.
Captain, how long have we been at sea?
And they didn't lead with
been
the
a
fact that
while.
it's the fire giant gut punch. Maybe if that
That is
had
very
come out
fair.
first.
Fire giant.
I think they
Yes,
led
it's
with
apparently
that.
made from
5
fire
gold.
giants. By
I
fire
don't know.
giants. Possibly both.
I could have swore she led with it's the most expensive drink on the menu.
That one, yeah. I
Actually, she
remember
did
that.
leave with the most expensive, and then you and I at the same time went, we'll have them before we even asked the name. So, honestly, it was a team failing.
Yep. And Theo said it was coming out of the coffers, so I
That
didn't pay
too.
anything.
Wait, how much money did you guys take?
It's
Ah,
a business expense.
you
They write it
know,
off at the end
It
of
was
the
a
year.
work meeting.
50 gold?
No, I gotta keep track. I don't care. Just
50 gold, I think.
50 gold. All right, I just gotta mark it down.
Oh,
Don't-
right.
don't go broke.
So I did want to thank you for letting me become part of your crew. It was a vote, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, Welcome aboard.
She did take the oath, so you know.
Oh, the oath.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, right. The oath. Okay. All right. I remember that one now. Okay.
Well, look, if the options are take the oath or be almost mauled to death by an unholy monster in the middle of the jungle. Those are the two ways to join the crew. I figured the oath was kinder.
Who got
That's true.
mauled by a monster in the jungle?
Points at Tenoch
All of
Wow.
us.
We all did.
together. But Tenoch wasn't a crew member at that point until he did that.
Sounds like a bonding moment.
Don't remind me. All right.
Did we tell you about the blood monster?
No?
Then
No,
good, we
did
won't.
not.
There was a blood monster?
Oh yeah, that call of blood at the henge that just kind of pulsed with awful, and every
Oh,
time you struck it,
yeah.
it spurted, and then it birthed
Yeah.
unholy blood abominations that seemed to be composed mostly of just gore and unholy fluids. Yeah, that thing.
You
We're
have
gonna
the
try to drag
weirdest
that one out.
vacations.
That was
Oh,
during
that
our
was a
blood
job,
drive
technically.
days.
Weird
Yeah.
tentacly things that would latch onto you.
No, that was the other thing. That was the thing that got the other boat that someone on here may or may not have been on at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a mess. That place sucks.
And that is why we drink gut punches.
All right.
I mean,
all right. I'll
there's
give that
nothing
to you.
else to do really than, I mean, if there's nobody around at that old fort that we were going to go to, we could just go back to the bar.
Well, let's go to the old fort first.
I can get into the fort if we're worried about it.
We could all get
Is this
into the
a-
fort. It's really easy. We're very arrestable.
Is this a
Called the
guarded
front
fort?
door.
I know at least one person in the party who's got a bounty.
All right. Let's go.
Don't we all have bounties?
I don't think I
No.
do at the moment.
I don't think I have a bounty.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Right.
Me?
Well,
And-
we
Wait,
would-
her, yeah.
And-
That's what I was talking about.
Byron has one too.
Yes.
No.
You guys
Yeah,
had
yeah,
quite the
yeah.
night.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, it's not from here.
Oh, all right. Good.
Yet.
We're still good
Like we
here.
just got to town.
Yeah.
Shitting your pants and gut punching people and.
That was them.
Okay, so we should find our way to the old fort. And Theo just kind of looks around and goes, "Where the fuck is the old fort?"
Hello, old fort. Where
Is it
are
that-
you?
Tenoch, use your
fort with
magic.
the
Find our
background.
way to the old fort.
Oh, it's dark out. I forgot.
How do you find your way to the old fort?
I'm hoping
Yeah,
Tenoch has some
I
magic
guess.
for that.
Well,
Let's
didn't
see.
you follow a trail here, or can we just go back the way you came?
I mean, we took the
Towns
road.
Can't be that
yeah.
big, right? Yeah,
This
where's the
magic is
road?
not nearly as
I'll look around.
mystical
Is
as I
there
thought
any?
it was.
Is there any place that's larger? Is a larger, darker, perhaps with small lights around the top of it?
Yeah, you look to the south and the east, and there seems to be like a rise in the landscape, and you see the faint glow of lights atop a battlement.
The bones tell me it's this way.
You just looked up and saw that battlement, didn't you?
Yeah, stupid questions to
I
get
mean, the
stupid
lights
answers.
over there.
That was the comedy.
All right.
That was the bit.
Let's
Pharaoh,
go.
you see what I'm working with here.
I
Follow the
do.
bones.
So you guys head to the old fort. You guys make your way up this, kind of a hillock area that goes up. It's the highest point in the local landscape that you can see, at least. And as you do go up this hill, the shops and the warehouses sort of lessen in their density, but there are a couple of buildings adjacent to the main gate, where there appear to be some lights, one on either side. Right where this, if you can see, let's see if I can ping here. There we go. Right here on the map is the main gate to the old fort. And as you approach, the gate is indeed closed.
Oh hell!
And it is pretty late.
Are there any people on the? Can I see any people like above the gate?
Roll a perception check for me, please.
Yeah. Oops, I had advantage on 13.
13, you look up and you can see the glow of torchlight, but you don't see any individuals. You can see some of these glows are moving. So you get the sense that there are people up above, but you don't actually see them. It's probably 25 to 30 feet up to the top of the walls. They are made of wood. They are well made. It looks like they have been built and rebuilt a number of times. And there are a number of towers. In fact, there are 4 of them, one on each corner. And then the actual gate itself looks to be some sort of a large constructed building with a portcullis and some other large wooden doors behind the portcullis.
Captain, should I break these walls down with unholy flame and burn it all to the ground?
Let's do it.
I can't do that. You know that, right?
No, we're not going to do that.
Okay.
I mean, how bad do we want to get in here? Because there's a level of we want to get in bad, but then we'll have to get out of town real quick.
No.
All right.
It's not that urgent.
Subtle.
I have a feeling
come
he's
back
not going
tomorrow.
anywhere.
Yeah, semi-legally.
We'll come back in the morning. Hopefully they'll be
What are
open
these?
for business.
What are these buildings adjacent to the gatehouse and wall?
It's unclear what they are, other than that they are large buildings. They have what appear, from best guess, is a stone foundation, wooden construction. There is smoke coming from the chimneys and faint lights in both of them. There is a smaller tent out in front of the gates that appears to have nobody. You don't see any people there. That would be the closest. This little round jobby here with the flags atop. It's kind of like a almost a yurt kind of design. If you're familiar with that, I know
Oh
you
shit,
are.
there might be Mongols around.
Most likely.
What was that building again? I'm sorry.
You see a bunch of Subarus parked next to it.
Oh shit, they're glampers. Never mind, run.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
The Andy, it's the round building just to the north
Right.
of the
Right here.
gatehouse, which is number 3 on the map.
You can see my. I don't know if
That's
you can see
the-
that
that's
paint
the-
there.
What was that?
That's an unoccupied yurt.
Oh. Wow.
We could just sleep in the yurt.
Are we just gonna squat on somebody's yurt?
We have plenty of place to sleep. We still have that room back at the
Oh, you
anemone.
guys got a room? All right, let's go sleep in a room.
Really
It's
tired,
one
guys.
room.
Oh. Do they have other rooms available? Are they expensive?
Wait, we got 2 rooms.
No, we got one room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was one room.
Damn, you guys
Yes,
had a
2
hell of
beds
a
in it.
night.
No, that was an afternoon.
Where did you
Oh,
even
yeah.
sleep? Did you?
This was a morning, really.
I think I passed out on the carpet in the room.
No, you were in the bed, and
Nope.
then Byron was in the bed,
Sounds like
Um,
that kind of night.
and Tenoch.
I don't
and
remember
Edward
that
were-
at all.
Different beds.
Yes, there were 2 separate beds.
Yeah.
And the nice lady brought us water, and you didn't drink it all.
Why'd I
Yep.
wake up in the carpet?
I don't know. I'm not here to judge what you do.
You're a
was
very
spooning me.
active sleeper.
So Solana's in here. You know where is his ship here?
Oh, his ship left a couple months ago
Ah, damn.
without him, in a hurry. So
The
we'd
o-
love
the
to
only
talk to
person
him
I've ever
about
met
that.
who thinks that they're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when they sleep, just boxing out for room.
All elbows.
Yeah.
So we're not going in there tonight.
All right.
I hate to say this out loud because it sounds like a terrible idea. Do we go back to the ship or go back to the bar? Or, perhaps more wisely, we go back to the ship and give the crew some shore leave and leave the captain at the bar so that he can be in charge of them.
I want to take a
I'm
stroll
not gonna
through the
watch those
market
guys.
district.
Is the market district open at this hour?
Find out. Maybe
Good call.
they got some chicken on a stick.
They have a night market.
Mr. Tenoch, take us
maybe.
away.
There's like a party out. There's like some kind of.
You had me at chicken on a stick.
Yeah,
That's a different
Farah,
place.
to answer your question, there is this in the market district, which you would have walked by, is this large sort of like tent city area where there are all kinds of vendors. And you did notice that there was a fair amount of activity there. It's probably isn't as busy as it would be during the midday or in the morning, but there were some stands that were still open.
Say, Byron, do you think we need some supplies for those explosive arrows? We could pick something up.
I don't have any money.
I got money.
Captain's here. He's got money.
Nice. Yes, we do. We need a lot of supplies.
Explosives.
Yeah, we're gonna make scorpion arrows, where we tie a scorpion to an arrow. We're gonna make beehive arrows.
You've been talking to kobolds again, haven't you?
None of these were my idea, for the record.
We were coming up with plans on how to defend ourselves if we get accosted by pirate ships again.
Yep, it was
And-
all
Those were
her
my
idea.
ideas.
We should just
You
buy
know-
some of this gut punch and pass it off on them when they try to board. We'll start handing out drinks and we'll
I mean, that's not a bad idea either.
watch them
Yes.
Yeah.
shit themselves. And
Breathe
just
fire.
We just give them a keg, and then we just let them destroy themselves.
right,
That's a beautiful plan.
I'm going to this market district.
all right.
All right, Theo leads the way down to the market area, the open air market. And as you enter this area, Theo leading the way, there are smells of food. There are apparently cows, because I just heard a cow. There are there's only
At
one
this
cow
hour?
actually. Yeah, it's just the one. And there
Well,
are
very
a
drunk
couple
cow.
of small shops. There are people sort of cleaning their stalls. You can see closing down mostly. But there are still a couple that are selling food, kind of the late night grub spot. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular as you walk around?
At this point, I think it's late night grub.
Chicken on
Okay.
a stick if they got it.
Chicken skewers.
I am keeping an eye out for any kind of apothecary kind of shop. I don't know if it'd be open at this hour, but I could always come back.
Sure. Yeah, you make your way into this area, and first thing you see is a spot that's selling meat on a stick. There's a grill, a small grill that a smallish older woman with kind of gray braided hair is working, and she sees you coming over and sort of stands up straight and sort of wipes off her hands and turns to meet you. Fairez, you're looking around. You see that there is a number of small trinket boxes in front of one of the other stalls, sort of like jewelry, rocks and minerals and that kind of thing, seashells, that kind of stuff. But you don't see like an apothecary type of stall, but you do see sort of the kind of the artsy craftsy type stuff.
It's just a bunch of puku necklaces.
Exactly, and the fake shark tooth necklace.
Yep.
Sweet. I'm getting a box of them.
Flower lays for days.
Can I help you? You're looking for something to eat? I've got chicken, pork.
We'll just take 2 of each.
Okay, very good.
No, sorry,
how
I
many?
meant 5 of each.
5 of each, so 10. Okay, that would
Yes.
be I think that would be 5 silver.
Delightful. I hand her a gold.
Oh my, thank you. She puts it in her blouse pocket and hands the lot of you 10 items, meat on a stick. And it looks to be grilled, charred, crispy in a sense, and as you bite into it, beautifully seasoned and tender. And you can tell this woman knows what she's doing. You could probably also tell because when she handed you the food items, her fingers were all sort of like burned at the tips, as if she'd been working the grill for many, many years.
Was she like brushing them with a sauce too?
Oh, yeah, she has. Actually, out in front, there are a couple of different dipping sauces
Oh,
that are
boy.
available. Yep. So you can help yourself to those.
Yeah.
Please don't be hot. Please don't be hot. Please don't be hot.
Oh, that one's the hot one. That's the almond rub. I don't know if you've had that before, but this one here,
I'll
this is a
pass
sweet.
on that.
This is a sweet sauce here, Missy.
That one's
Do you have any
spicy.
ranch?
All right.
What is
Oh
it?
God,
ranch?
she's Midwestern.
Oh, fantasy ranch dressing.
No,
Oh, it's made from real dragon bits.
we have a
it's
soft
hidden
cheese
veil.
sauce. Hasn't been
I'll take the
refrigerated.
cheese. Thank you. I need to, my stomach is still a little rumbling from all that alcohol.
I'm sure the cheese sauce will help with that.
Dairy's
I'll get
good for that.
I'll get the hot stuff.
You see a couple other stalls that are just about to close that seem to have like books and like parchment and other things like that. But other than that, it seems like things are winding down.
Okay, we'll come back in the morning then. So are we going back to the boat or are we staying here tonight?
Got a room.
I would do either one. I guess
Tell
I'm
you
kinda
what.
tired of a boat.
Some of us
personally.
could stay on the boat and
I'll go
send
back
in
to the boat.
some of the
So be
dudes.
responsible. Some of us should stay here. We have a room. We'll split the party. How could that go badly?
I'll go back with you.
Okay. Farah, staying here, going to the boat.
I'm gonna stay with the captain, and we'll go to the anemone. And you know what? I do remember somewhere in my drunken haze that there was a clock in there that we were supposed to look at.
No, we were supposed to not look at
Fuck.
it. Byron, are you staying or going?
I haven't seen a clock in 3 years.
I'll probably just go back to the end.
Okay. Me and Tenoch will go be. We're going to send some of the boys out for shore leave too.
Nice.
So we're gonna go do that. We'll see you all in the morning at the anemone.
Yeah, tell Torga that the gut
Yeah,
punch
sure
is
will.
awesome.
We'll eat.
I am maybe
eat at
going to
the
do
end.
that. So yeah, we Theo and Tenoch go back and take. We'll take the nice. No, we're gonna take the not nice dinghy because there's no one sleeping in it. And go back to the boat. Send people out on shore leave.
Okay. You do so. You head back to the good buddy. No problems. You leave Henry asleep in the other dinghy, snoring away as the rest of the party heads to the tavern. And as you walk up, Rhunar, everybody else has already seen this, but you essentially see this large building with multiple chimneys smoking, with fires burning in the hearth. The smell of food. There are numerous long beer hall-like tables out in front in a courtyard, and there are these lanterns that are hanging around it. Very festive. People are singing and slapping each other on the back and hoisting mugs of ale and other libations, and it's a very jolly scene.
Oh,
There are
nice
others
place.
there are some people that are sitting talking amongst themselves, and then up you can walk up a couple stairs into this open air indoor space.
So first thing you want to do is you're going to get yourself a midnight breeze, because that was actually quite nice.
All right. Should we sit somewhere? Or what are we gonna do?
It's a little packed. Can we? Do you see a waitress anywhere?
Guess we'll go to the bar.
All right, sit on a bar stool.
Let's do it.
You
All
gotta
right.
try this gut punch, Rhunar.
I'm not trying that.
I dare you.
I think I can handle this one named
I'll-
drink, and then I'm gonna drink ale
I'll give you 10 gold if you try one.
or claw wine.
10 gold if you try
Do
one.
they have that here? Do they have claw wine here? Bunch of savages.
So I lead the way up to the bar counter to see if we can find some seats or just squeeze in next to the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. You walk in and it is packed, kind of shoulder to shoulder people. There is music playing. You notice Feyre right away as you look up at the stage area, and there is a man playing a lute and singing, and it's pretty good, actually. It sounds pretty good. You make your way kind of moving through the bar, and you finally get you belly up and you find a spot, and you can see that the bartender is kind of flipping around bottles and pouring drinks. And he is, the things you notice about him, he's tall and lanky, and he's got tons of face tattoos. And he's got this sort of dirty green tunic on and an apron, and he's got a big old smile on his face, and he's got this kind of hearty laugh. And you can just see that he's making money hand over fist at this place. And there are other bartenders that are helping. It's a long, beautifully made bar. Everything in this place is well built. You get the sense that it's just a money-making endeavor in the perfect tourist town. And he looks over at you, Rhunar, and he says, "Well, what'll it be?"
What'd you say it was called again?
Midnight Breeze.
Yeah, 2 of those, 3 of those. You want one?
No. I'll do a water.
Oh, Byron.
I'll take one.
Coming right up, and he turns around, and you can see him mixing the drink, and he comes back and hands you each a beautiful glass, hand blown with these flowers inside the glass, super classy. And then one of them just has some semi-clear water. It's a little brackish, but he hands you the water, Byron, and he looks at you kind of sideways, and he says, "Well, it's just my opinion, fella. Keep your hands to yourself tonight, huh?"
What do you mean?
All right. And then he moves on, and he starts making drinks for other people.
Pretty wild night last night, huh?
What does he mean by that? I didn't even do anything.
Again, this afternoon.
I was assaulted. Someone assaulted me.
Byron, that water looks real sketchy.
Yeah, I was thinking you might be better off just drinking an ale or, something else. That
Just gonna give you the runs.
that water might be worse.
Pour it
than a
out,
good
and
one.
then kind of just sit there and look around, kind of morose.
All right.
I'll flag down the bartender and have him bring over a beer or an ale for Byron.
You got it, Missy. 1 second. And he goes off. So the 2 nighttime breezes are each a gold piece, and then a mug is 5 copper. And he comes back and he slides the mug over to you, Fair, and he says, there's a fella that lost some coin here this morning, and if you happen to know where that might be, let me know. There you go.
I
Hands you the
don't
mug.
understand what you're talking about. Did he just call me a thief?
I think he was calling you a thief. Did you steal from someone here?
I did not. All I did was I played a terrible song while sitting on the stairs.
Man, you guys really.
I have no idea. I don't remember stealing any money.
Well, you could check your pockets.
I could. I could.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, hopefully that doesn't get much worse.
Do we see the clock?
Yeah, you definitely see the clock. This grandfather clock is at the far end of the bar, and it is beautiful. It's got gold inlay around the face, the hands of the clock, which are moving as they should. It looks like it's just beautifully built. And the most important thing that you notice is that while this whole place is packed, there's nobody near the clock.
That's odd.
It is odd. I haven't seen a clock in a while.
Do you want to go over and
Rare. It's pretty rare.
take a look?
I guess. Okay, is that bartender nearby?
You could probably flag him down.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's up with that clock? I haven't seen a clock in a while.
Oh, well, that's grandfather.
Grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful clock, but man, you might want to just steer clear. You know what I mean?
When you say that's grandfather, are you saying that it's like alive?
You know, are any of us really alive? Hey, look, I got to get back to making the drinks. You all have fun.
Yeah,
And he
I
walks
guess
off.
They don't like people touching it or something.
I don't know.
Try to touch it.
As you make that decision, we'll bounce over to the ship. And Tenoch and Theo are just arriving at the Good Buddy.
So anyway, even with the captain there, I'd say there's a solid 40% chance one of them gets up arrested. So at least be able to get into the fort.
Yep. That tracks.
Oh, ship. Fritz.
Yeah. Mr. Theo, you're back.
We were wrong. Shore leave.
Hey.
We need a couple volunteers to stay on the ship with me and Tenoch for the night. Looks around. Any fucking volunteers?
You don't hear any of them volunteer. Mr. Theo, I'll take care of this. We'll draw lots for it, and it'll be just fine. Don't worry about a thing.
Appreciate you. Well, Tenoch.
Yeah.
I'm out of brilliant ideas.
I got one.
What's your idea?
Sleep.
I suppose.
Yeah.
That'll give us time so that when we do wake up and there's trouble, we can hopefully deal with it. Yep. We go to bed.
The old men in the group head
Apparently.
to bed. And there's a cow on the ship somehow. All right. So
Oh god, it's a mimic.
we go back to the tavern. Let's do this so that we don't leave some of the players out of the game for too long. Let's talk about what you would like to do this evening, starting with Byron. Roll initiative. Just kidding.
Oh, I was ready. Yeah, pretty much. They said don't touch the clock, so I'm gonna try touching the clock sneakily, and then that's, I'm not planning on drinking or anything. I'm kind of just gonna shadow the captain and Feyre until they go to bed, and then I'm gonna sit around and then wait till the next day.
Okay.
Wait until we're doing stuff.
And you're gonna sleep in the room.
Yup. Yeah, I'll chill in the room. I'll probably, take the first watch too.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Feyre, what would you like to do?
Dig, I dare you to touch that clock.
I don't know. That everybody seems to be not going anywhere near it.
Here's what I envision. I envision the three of you standing about 5 feet away from the clock, and you're like, kind of nudging them.
What? I'm gonna turn around and ask one of the other people standing around. Hey, man, what's up with this clock?
It's a son of a bitch, is what it is.
What happens if you touch it?
Now you're fucked. Good luck. And he drinks it. They're dancing. There's music playing.
That doesn't sound good.
Does it fight you?
Does it, it's a clock, though. I mean, what could it do? Right?
Where do you think the expression "to clock someone" comes from? Fighting clocks.
I think it's alive.
It might be.
I read about these in my magic book. It's a mimic.
Oh, maybe you should go over and say hello and see if it talks to you.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I
Dad,
heard it's a
why don't
son
you
of a
po-
bitch.
Dag, poke it, I dare you.
Oh man, I can see. I can see Dave just smiling. All right,
do it,
I'm
do
gonna closely start walking towards, or slowly start walking towards the clock.
Okay. You take a couple steps. You kind of turn around and look back at Feyre and Byron. And they're kind of like... You take a couple more steps. You're about a foot and a half away from it. You're just kind of looking at it. And as you get closer, you can see that it is really beautiful and it fits in well. It's to this place in terms of the quality, but it is extremely ornate. The decorations, the number, the inlay gold leaf numbers, everything about it just screams like, I don't know, riches and opulence and quality,
that's a nice clock.
craftsmanship.
I'm just gonna go.
Did you say it really ties the room together?
It
Hello?
makes it demands attention for sure. You speak to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna speak to the clock. Hello? Clock?
Feyre and
Nothing?
Byron, as you're watching this happen, there are other members of the crowd that start to start paying attention, and they're kind of standing now with you, holding their mugs of beer, of ale, and they're kind of watching. And you can kind of hear them whispering to each other. "Ah, he's fucked.
I'm gonna turn around. What are they doing?
Everybody just stops and kind of looks at you. The whole place it's buzzing with energy, but there's like a small group of like 5 people that are now just kind of watching intently.
Byron, should we take bets?
Yep. But he gets. I
That
bet.
sounds like a good idea.
Yep. I bet the clock bestows him a weapon or something.
Ooh, I'll take that bet.
I bet that the captain wins this fight. I'll bet a gold piece on it.
I'll take you on that. Bet you 1 gold. He doesn't. Is he gonna get in a fight with the clock?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna down my drink. Reach out, give the clock a little tap, and then take the dodge action.
Well, you can do that, but you're gonna have to roll initiative first.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
Look what you did.
Look what
Look
you done
what you did.
Let's
What
see.
is a bar without a bar fight?
Michael, roll a d20 for me, please.
I don't have a token to click on. So
That's all right.
I got a 4.
Just roll a die. Okay.
13.
All right. You take the dodge action, and you so you have the initiative. You take the dodge action, and then you hear just a pussy.
What was that?
That's its action.
I just taunted him.
All right, I'm going to.
That's a lot. It is a clock.
I know. I am impressed.
Just insulted me.
I didn't realize when they said to stay away from it and it'll hurt you that they meant on the inside.
It called me a name. What are
Not
people doing?
real.
People are laughing. There's like 4 or 5 people that are next to Feyre and Byron, and they're just giggling.
Watch this. Just watch. Watch. Hey, come on over. Check it out.
Touch it again, Rhunar.
That's funny coming from a clock. And then I'm gonna give it another little tap.
Okay.
Oh,
You give
yeah.
it a tap.
Yep.
On its turn, you hear,
Not the best you got.
No, I'm not gonna hit a clock.
as you say that, you kind of giggle and turn around, and I need Tenoch to roll a d20 for me. as a pseudopod erupts from this mimic grandfather clock and comes out and punches you right in the face.
It is a mimic.
Going to be a 15 to hit.
That misses.
It swings at you, and you kind of dodge out of the way.
Oh, whoa.
And you
Easy
just hear
there,
like,
buddy.
yeah! Bring it on. Or walk away.
All right, I'm gonna walk away. I don't want to fight this place's clock. What if I break it?
These are all good statements.
You step back and walk back to the
I'm gonna
crowd.
disengage.
And
Wow,
there's a
so
lot of
that's what it does.
disappointment. A lot of disappointment. It lets you walk away. It doesn't take a swing at you as you leave, but
I've never
some of the
seen
crowd's
anything like that
disappointed.
before.
Feyre,
Hmm.
I'll take that gold now.
Do you think the clock won?
Did he not win?
You guys were taking bets?
What? No.
It certainly looked
Oh,
like
man. Maybe I
Rhunar
should've fought it.
chickened out and walked away, and the clock won because of that. And therefore, you owe me 1 gold.
I would say that the winner is the person who takes the higher ground, and he decided to walk away from it, so he is still a winner.
What if, Byron,
Not in
what
a
if I
fight.
punch it and then it breaks and then I have to fix it?
I'll fix it for you.
I have to pay somebody to fix their clock.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. We'll just
'Cause
take
I
it back
got-
to the ship and we'll fix it, and then we'll bring it back.
Well, it's a mimic, so I think you would just kill the creature.
Yep.
That's kind of sad if it, can talk and stuff.
Well, then I'm killing their clock.
Yeah. No. It's not a kill the clock kind of thing, guys. One of the other guys is like, no. Just leave the clock be. He's a son of a bitch.
It's
He's got a
amazing
relationship
about
with
a
the establishment. You don't want to kill him.
All right.
Hmm.
Well, that was
Wait,
fun.
I think I know now. I would like to get the clock a gut punch.
Get the clock a gut punch.
Buy it a drink. Making friends.
There are 2 ways to start a bar fight. The first way is to start a bar fight. The second way is to get the mimic clock drunk.
And I think that's the best way.
Oh,
I think
All
that's a
right, so
great
you guys,
idea.
you
should
guys
buy it a
debate.
drink.
You guys debate shenanigans and have a few more drinks if you so desire. In terms of like anything else that you want to accomplish in the night before you head back up, the party goes well into the night and into the early morning, so you could, legitimately party all through the night if you wanted to. Eventually, Byron retires up to the room, as you stated.
Does the
how about
crew show up at the Blackened Enemy?
Well, the crew definitely takes you up on the offer and goes into town. So they eventually make it there, and they're drinking somewhere in this big crowd of people. So anything else from Feyre or Rhunar prior to retiring?
No, I don't think so.
All right. You take your leave and head up to the room, and eventually sleep comes. You all drift off, and the morning comes, and we've got Feyre, Byron, and Rhunar waking up in the anemone, and Theo and Tenoch waking up on the deck or not on the deck, but on the ship. And I'm assuming you guys, I mean, maybe not assuming, but you guys want to eventually meet up back in the morning. So we'll sort of speed things up. And I think right now would actually be a great time to take a quick break. So we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, the crew will all be together, let's just say in the market district, having met up and having had some breakfast and some coffee and ready to figure out what you're going to do next. When we come back for Beyond Saltmarsh, the Narisban edition. And don't forget, people, we got to make sure we mention this. Thanks to our campaign sponsor, CZRPG, we do have a giveaway. It is the Encounters in Saltmarsh, which is a amazing supplement for D&D. It's got 46 pages of adventure hooks, maps, stat blocks, all kinds of good stuff. We're going to give it away for free because that's what we do. ! Drawing, and you'll be entered to win. I hope you win. Love you guys. We'll see you when we come back in just a couple minutes. Bye. Oh, nice.
donated.
Nice.
So that's an advantage for you, Feyre?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks,
Appreciate
Cardman.
it.
Let me update that. Sweet. You're going to need it.
Oh, I know. I know I am.
I hope so. All
I
right.
don't want to die early.
No, you just got here.
Right? I have art and everything.
That's right. That would be a travesty. There you go. Tragedy. Thanks, Cardman. All right, here we go. We're heading back to Saltmarsh. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to sign up for our giveaway tonight. We're giving away a copy of Encounters in Saltmarsh, which is really rad. Check it out. ! Drawing, and you could win. Thanks to CZRPG, our campaign sponsors, for being so generous with their stuff. Yeah.
Really
So
like the title work they did on that one.
you do? It's nice, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep. Here, let's show people what we're talking about here. Ciao. Really nice.
Wachow.
Jack Duncan's the author of this one. I guess I forgot about that. Way to go, Jack.
Jack Duncan.
Way to go, Jack. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Hey, you guys are in the market. It's daytime. None of you are drunk. It's like a normal D&D session almost.
Whoa.
What would you like to do next, my friends?
Well,
Theo is just gonna wander off and start looking at a few random stalls, just looking around for things.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me. How about the rest of y'all?
I'm gonna do something similar. I know you mentioned walking by the place where they were doing all the lumber work on all the ships.
Yes, that's back to the north. So it's a little ways away from here. Here, I'll bring up the map so you can get a better idea of that. I'll ping it for you. It is this building right here.
Okay. You know, if
And you guys are
everyone's
kinda
planning on
in
doing
this
some
area.
shopping. Yeah, if people are gonna do some shopping, I'm gonna pop up that way and just kind of look at all the different boats, the different designs.
Sure. Okay. Anyone else? Shopping episode? Shopping scene?
I mean, I guess I would look for spell components, that kind of stuff. Top up my tank. Top up my tank of components. I don't know. You know,
Component tank? Absolutely.
My
Roll a
component
perception
tank,
check
yeah.
for me. What did you roll, Theo?
17.
Oh, yeah. So you look around and you see, sort of the typical fare. You see some food booths. You see clothing booths. You see, in terms of uncooked food, there are crates of strange produce, vegetables. There are fresh fish. Feyre, probably slightly offensive to your sensibilities. It does smell like fish here. And there are indeed a couple of there's one particular stall where they're selling what appear to be ingredients for spells and magic and herbs and other things like that, tokens and talismans.
Definitely going by that one.
You walk up to that stall and there is an old man who is very tall and very upright in his posture. He's got a long goatee and a bald head, and he just looks over you and says, "Well, how can I help you? Feel free to browse."
Do you have chalk?
Chalk? Oh, yes, indeed we do. Are you looking for something special? Or your run-of-the-mill chalk? We've got a little bit of both.
I'm looking for the good chalk.
Oh, 1 second. And he sort of turns around and pulls out a tray. And it's think of like a cigar box, but it's made out of like a teak. And it's got a nice lid on it. And he opens it up and it's kind of stiff. So it's just kind of like, and he opens it up and you look inside and there are a variety of colors of chalk. And with the sunshine coming in the morning, you can see that they just kind of glitter. These chalks are infused with gems. Very good for, special artwork, if you know what I mean.
I do. How much?
Well, how much do you need? I've got quite a bit here.
I don't need all of them. Perhaps just one stick.
Oh, well, it is pricey.
I didn't assume I wasn't going to be, having to sell my firstborn for this.
Because you're a first-time customer, I'll give you a deal. For one stick of the gem-infused stock, 70 gold.
I understand where you're coming from, given the pricing and all, and of course, you appear to be the only man in town. On the other hand,
Indeed.
I have found a few things of interest here and there, and I may be able to go with that. But, given the situation with respect, I would give you perhaps 40 gold.
Well, you are right. I am the only vendor in town with these special chalks. I like you. Well, let's settle at 50.
50 sounds like an excellent deal. Thank you. And pull that 50 gold and just hand it over.
And he hands you
What
this
kind of
beautiful.
gems?
Well, there are a number of different sticks, so you can pick the red one, the blue one, the green one. There are multicolored sticks.
Ooh, we're gonna go with a multicolored stick.
Yep. Tenoch, go ahead and roll an investigation check if you would like to. Do you have any gem sort of background?
Nope.
Okay.
Are you a gemologist?
A gemologist. That's pretty good.
20.
Is that a background you can choose? Gemologist?
Yep.
It should be.
I think it's Master Crafter.
Yeah. You get the sense that this stick that Theo is holding and kind of showing to you proudly has some crushed topaz in it and some emerald, and it looks like there might be a little bit of sapphire mixed in there, and then there are a couple of other colors that you're not familiar with.
I kind of look at it and I just say, yeah, it looks good. I would hate for you to pay 50 gold for chalk with quartz in it.
Oh, well, for that to happen, unfortunate things would occur that of course are not going to, because this nice man would never swindle us.
That's right. Happy customers, come back.
Say, do you have any kind of like, I don't know, gunpowder or like acid or things like that?
Gunpowder? I've never heard of it, but acid I've heard of. I don't have any of that. There is the possibility of, procuring some for you. It might take some time.
I don't know how long we're going to be in port, unfortunately. Do you know anybody who does kind of carry those more corrosive, explosive things?
I can't say that I do, but there are plenty of privateers about. You might inquire with some of the scallywags that run amok.
Well, all right. I'll see if anybody's heard anything.
Byron, you make your way over to the shipwrights, and it is, as you would expect, extremely busy. They have what appears to be a quite able crew that is doing work on a couple of boats that are hoisted up onto the shoreline in these kind of work areas. They are on dry land. There are also a number of ships on docks that are being worked on, and I mean, as you would expect, most ships are being worked on when they're in port. There's much to do. But this place is very busy. No one really pays any attention to you, but you see ships, as I mentioned when you first arrived in Nerisban, that you haven't seen the craftsmanship before. And many of them you do recognize, but yeah, there's a lot going on in this particular area. It reminds you a bit of the Carpenters Guild Hall in Saltmarsh, but even busier.
Okay. So as I'm looking around, do I see any parts of boats or contraptions or anything that I've never, like, I have no idea what they even do? And if so, I'm just gonna like grab somebody who's working on it and be like, hey, what does this even do? If I see things that I don't know what their purpose is.
Roll a perception check for me.
A 14.
You spend some time there kind of milling about, and a number of workers pass by you, sort of kind of brushing past you as you sort of peruse the ships and some of the supplies, but you don't really see anything that is strange to you. You know, you very well understand how ships are made. There's not a whole lot of, I guess, differentiation in the mechanics of it. It's mostly in the style and the design of some of the ships are a little bit sleeker, smaller. You get the sense that there are some ships that are here that are built for small crews and very agile, maybe raiding ships. You get the sense that they could be used to make way into very shallow waters adjacent to shorelines, perhaps. And then there are some of the larger ships. There's even a galley that's docked and is being worked on, and it kind of gives you a sense that that's why there's so many people in town, because it takes a lot of people to run one of those. So,
right.
But yeah, you don't see anything that's like, oh, what is that weird technology? You would know most of these things, if not everything, about these ships from your background.
Then I think I would spend, time while I'm waiting for everyone else to finish their shopping spree, just sketching some of the designs, sketching some of the ship, layouts that they have, making notes of like where the galley has like their ballista located and their mandrels, and like taking notes of like points that I notice are weak on some of these different designs of ships, and just sketching them down in my notes.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
22.
Nice. Yeah, with that, you do take note of a couple of nuanced positional elements of where the ballistas are located, and you're like, oh, that's smart, and it's something that you think you could replicate on the Good Buddy.
Sweet.
All right. Does anybody else have anything that they're shopping for besides acid?
I guess
Do
I
you have
would
like
see
any
if
PCP?
That
guy
they have,
has-
actually.
If this guy, in abundance, if this guy has some incense.
Oh, yes. Definitely he has incense. As much as you
I
could
would-
possibly want.
I would purchase maybe I don't know how much incense costs. It's like 5 gold, a generous quantity of incense.
For sort of like the, middling grade incense, but then there's sort of like the high end incense. You get the same quantity for about twice as much.
I will spend 30 gold on the good stuff.
On the good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
He hands you a box, a small box that's filled with incense.
Awesome. I'll write down 30 gold of the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Rhunar, is there anything that you're looking for in this marketplace?
No, I'm just kind of walking around behind everybody, eating some chicken, taking in the sights.
Didn't you all say you had something to sell?
Yeah, we need to sell our cargo.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
we should find that
cargo.
Falls Mins.
But They're not going to buy it here in the market, I'm pretty sure. We need
I figure we should take care of things that you need to do before we, get into trouble with talking to that feller.
Who says we're going to get in trouble?
Just a hunch.
You're probably right.
Shadows?
Did you guys talk to anybody when you
Nobody
pulled
official.
up on the dock?
Just asked around. Oh, we talked to the port master.
Ag.
Did you ask him where you might be able to sell cargo?
No, we were busy getting everything else at that point. He doesn't handle the cargo. So, but we did find out there is a merchant. There is a guild, but it may be fucked.
Wait, if I'm part of this conversation, we did talk to the bar guy about Falch Mins.
Yep.
The guy.
That's
who
what
would
we're
be the
talking
guy.
about.
Yep.
What's that? What's Falch Mins?
He seems to be the guy that blew up the guild.
Well, does he buy
He
cargo?
dissolved the guild.
Oh, with
He
acid.
works.
Got it.
He works for the governor
Nice.
I mean, he
Perhaps.
might know where to get gunpowder.
unofficially.
All right. Does he have an office somewhere?
We were drinking at a
Uh,
bar when we heard this. We didn't. It wasn't an
All right,
official thing.
I'm gonna go see if I can find the.
The old fort
Uh,
might be a good place to start.
There are people around you can talk to too. Just FYI, it's pretty busy.
Busy marketplace. Plenty
Yeah.
of merchants.
You there, random sir. Where can I find the governor?
Where can I sell cargo? You.
Oh, you're looking for the guild, the Merchants Guild.
Yes.
Fultz Mins is the man you're looking for. Half orc, business type. He gives you directions towards the fort, and he says it's the fancy looking building to the left of the entrance to the fort before you enter. Good luck.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Well, that's
Like
not
when they say good luck
suspicious.
like that. Yeah.
Is it this one or the yurt?
Not the yours.
Is it this one?
Yep. No, the other
Okay.
one. The other left,
This
right
one?
here. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's not a fancy yurt made by a very cool Duluth company. That's just a regular yurt.
Right.
Is there a Duluth company that makes very nice yurts?
I'm
Probably.
guessing there is.
They're not really yurts,
Yeah.
but yes.
But anyways, so you have some information. There are people about that you can talk to, of course. Farrah,
right.
what's your passive perception? I don't have that.
Oh, my passive perception is 15.
Okay, good to know.
All right. Anybody want to go to see this Fulch?
Absolutely.
Captain,
right.
you're the captain. You decide what we're doing, and we follow
Oh.
you.
All right. Quit fucking around. Let's go sell our cargo.
There you go.
All right.
Pat dig on the back.
Yeah. Get to work.
What
You
kind
guys
of
make-
cargo we have?
That's what I was looking up.
It's just all gold
I
and
got it
dark
written
elf
down.
weaponry.
Well, we won't need to sell the gold.
Wait,
Well,
what?
the gold's all cursed, so we don't want to keep it.
Yeah, didn't we have a bunch of lava from hell too?
We have fine liquors, silks, tools, all said and done about 2,500 worth of cargo. That's what I wrote in my notes.
That we paid for. We paid
Sounds right.
2,500 for, right?
Correct.
So we'll get more than that, hopefully.
Also, hopefully correct.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We walk over there.
All right, yeah, you walk up to this building, past the yurt, which is now open, and there appear to be some, I don't know, lounging sailors, for lack of a better term. They look kind of rough and tumble. They seem to maybe be drinking off a hangover from the previous night. There's not much in this yurt other than a couple of like benches, but they seem to be hanging about. And they give you a little bit of a look as you walk by and a nod. You walk up to the building, and you can see that somebody's walking out of the building as you're walking up.
It's not a half-orc, is it?
It is not. It's a human.
All right. I'll go up to the door. See if it... Can I just walk in?
Yeah, you can open the door and walk in. And you walk in, and it's this really sort of fancy hallway. And there are a series of doors going down the hallway. There is a board as you walk in that has, kind of like when you walk into an office building, it has like the names of people and like the office that they're in. And you look on there and you do see that False Mins does indeed have an office here on the main floor at the end of the hall.
All right. I'm going to go to his office and knock on the door.
Do you reach out and touch the door?
Yes.
Nope,
And
use
when I
mage hand.
do, I
Use
go,
mage hand. Are we all trambling down the hallway behind you? Yes?
Sure, unless you want to wait outside.
Okay, just make
Somebody
sure.
can come in with me. And
I figured
I can come in. And then what Farah does is she fluffs up her hair and then she shoves her boobs up. Like, I'm
Saw
ready.
that coming.
Okay. All right. We're ready.
It'll bring them running.
Theo
Well, I
follows
figure we
suit.
gotta
I'm gonna-
be, persuading
just-
somebody.
Just my armor. Yeah.
You knock on the door.
Tuck
Gotta
in your
look.
shirt.
Gotta look presentable.
Theo in the
Right,
back
it
with a
could go either
smoldering
way.
breastplate.
Dang, you're looking good. You hear a, "Come on in!"
I'll go in.
You open the door, and there is sunlight coming through some big windows. It's a large room, and there is a man sitting at a desk. He looks to be poring over some documents, writing some things with a quill. He is quite obviously a half-orc, the sort of standard green skin. He has this... the biggest thing that jumps out is he's got this purple suit on. It's like a 3-piece suit. And
That's
he just
amazing.
looks tailored to the T's. He's a bit small for a half-orc, but very broad in the shoulders. And he's got this thick black hair that's tied back in a ponytail. But then he has these two large, I don't know what you'd call them, but hair side pigtails that come down in
Like-
front and kind of lay over his chest a little bit.
Braids,
And then his
perhaps?
beard also has a big braid coming down the front. He looks
Like
very
anime girl sideburns.
kind of. Yeah, he's very well put together. He stands up. He seems to be a little bit older maybe. Classic tusks from the lower jaw, and he stands very straight. Although he might be short for a half-orc, he's still pretty tall compared to the humans in the room. And he's got a bunch of piercings on his face and his ears. And he greets you. "What can I do for you today? I'm very, very busy. False Mins at your service. And you are?"
Hello, Mr. Mins. My name is Rhunar Deg. I am the captain of the Good Buddy.
"Ah, yes. I heard tell that your ship had sailed in yesterday.
Yes, that's correct.
What can I be of service for?"
Well, we have some. We're here from Monmerg, and we have some cargo to
Ah.
sell.
Yes.
We heard that you're the one to talk to about that.
Cargo. What type of cargo do you have?
We got silks, some very fine tools, some excellent liquors.
The classy sort. I like you already, Deg. Come in, sit. And there are a couple of chairs for you to sit down if you so choose.
Yeah.
Theo
he
will just
takes-
linger by the door.
He takes notice of Farah. Welcome. And he reaches down and kind of takes your hand. He reaches his
Charmed.
hand out. Do you put your hand in his hand?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, he takes your hand and he kind of bows and kisses your hand.
Oh,
Well.
I just love a sharp dressed man.
Well, thank you very much. And you look ravishing, I must say. No! He turns around and he walks back to his desk.
Tell me, do you have the bill of lading? You have the documents to prove that these goods were not, so I don't know, stolen or pirated?
Oh yeah, of course. And I'll pull out my documents.
Oh, wow, I was kidding. Let me see these. And he looks them over. Wow, this is legitimate.
Yeah, I bought this stuff and I'm looking to sell it.
Very good. He hands you back the documents. Looks like, do you have a price tag you're looking for? I can certainly broker the deal for you. I'd be happy to do so. I do take a 10% cut. What is that? Your friend is making hand signals.
I guess I was looking for around, I don't know, 5,000.
That might be difficult, Dag, but I can certainly try. Is there any, I don't know, wiggle room with the negotiations? Of course, it's in my best interest to get you the best price because, of course, as I said, I get my fee off the top of the sale.
Right. No, I understand. Yeah, no, I'm open to negotiation.
And these items, I assume, are still aboard the ship?
Yes.
Will you be needing a place to store them in town? I do have a number of warehouses at my disposal, should you need them. I imagine someone would like to inspect the goods before purchasing them.
Yes, I would imagine so. How much does it cost to store all of that?
Well, for this much, well, it might take some time. I believe, with my skills as a negotiator, and he kind of looks over at Feyre and gives her a little wink.
She winks back.
Oh, my. Should take no more than 2 or 3 days to find a buyer for this. There's a lot of folks coming and going. I could give you a place to store the items for 2 nights, I would say. 250 gold. Of course, there'll be some charges for the unloading fee, but you'll have to take that up with the portmaster. I imagine you've already spoken with him. But yes, this can be done, my friends. Of course.
All right. Yeah, I'll purchase the warehouse space.
Okay. Tell me, as he's sort of working on some contractual documents to have you sign, what news from Monmerg? It's been quite some time since I've been out that way. How is the prince? Still mucking about?
I imagine so. I don't know. We were kind of in and out of there when we stayed, so didn't hear too much news.
Interesting.
We move around a lot.
Nothing was on fire.
It's still there.
And the drinks in the docks are still cheap and plentiful.
Sounds like everything is as it should be. Well, with your stay for the next couple of nights, I must inquire, what do you plan to do with your time?
I don't know, just relax, get a few drinks, enjoy the shore life for a little bit. We've been on the boat a long time, so stretching our legs, getting to know the town. Do you have any recommendations?
Well, the Black Anemone, of course, is the best place to get drinks.
Right away.
Yeah, of course. I would stay to the market district in the docks area. There is, well, Lowtown is a bit of a dirty, grimy place. There's no reason to go there. There are some, well, at least 1 or 2 taverns that I know of there, but they are not worth the trip. The old fort, if you can get invited to a dinner.
Say, we tried to go there last night.
Oh.
Do you know what's in that old fort?
Sean's residence, his private contingency of guards and servants, business is done there to oversee the port business. Do you have business with the governor?
Oh, no, not personally.
So the
Well.
governor's name is Sean?
Tenoch Sharn,
Sharn.
indeed.
And he is technically governor or commandant?
Oh, no, the commandant, that is Tembrath Pierce of the Iron Watch.
Now,
What would you
does-
have with Pierce?
There's an old associate of ours who seems to have gotten himself in jail that, well, we wanted to at least check in on, but not sure how. Is that the sort of thing that can be done in this town?
Companion of yours in jail? You just arrived. My, you've been
No,
busy.
old friend, someone we've known off and on for years.
An acquaintance, really.
We heard he was here, but when we got here, then we found out he was in jail. We don't
And
know what happened.
The man's name is...
Oh,
Solana.
Solana.
Vincent.
Yeah,
Yes.
Vincent Solana.
Well, that is curious. How do you know Captain Solana?
He's the captain of an old and dear friend of ours' brother was on the ship. So we kind of knew him in passing in that way. We were trying to track down his brother, or the brother of our friend, but apparently the ship's gone as the captain's here, so we'd like to find out exactly what happened.
Well, I can tell you what I know if you have the time for it.
Not going anywhere at the moment.
Curious thing about Solana, there was, about 6 weeks ago, a string of murders. The people of Lowtown took to calling it the Lantern Murders, the Lantern Killer. Tasteless, but... Well, and long story short, came down to Solana being pegged as the culprit. I don't know the man, but the name... There were 7 people killed in a short period of time, grisly murders. And a number of disappearances that couldn't be directly associated with it, but you know, things happen in a port town, so who knows. I have to warn you about your friend. He has gone mad.
What kind of mad?
The angry kind, but with the cuckoo.
Oh, good.
Difficult to comprehend what the man is dealing with.
You know, I'm kind of handy with healing. I might be able to sort him out if I could get a hold of him.
Interesting. Well, I certainly cannot help you with that. But there is a man, a friend of his in town, who has been poking about, digging into things, causing a bit of a stir amongst the local authorities and the Iron Watch.
Sounds like our kind of friend.
A man by the name of Master Refram.
Master Refram?
Indeed.
Master of what?
Don't know. I still ask myself that question.
It just seems a little bit unusual. Do I get to just give myself a title and have people respect it too? I'm going to be a bishop.
The respect part is the difficult piece. The naming is quite simple.
And you said he's been looking for answers?
He has theories and has been a bit of a pain in the ass, as I hear, to the local authorities. But
Where
you
can
might
we
seek
find-
him out.
Do you know where we can find him?
My dear, yes I do. He lives and works in a ramshackle workshop on the edge of the Froth in Lowtown. You probably saw it when you entered the port. It is a smog-covered part of town. Dirty. Simply falling back into the ocean. Surrounded by mud flats and decay.
How come no one we ever want to talk to lives somewhere nice?
Well, you
That's
did,
true.
to be fair, say that you wanted to talk to the governor, and he lives in the old fort, which is quite nice.
I was going to ask about that. Say, does the governor ever venture out of his little complex? Like, is there a place he likes to go on a regular basis? We might bump into him.
Well, most of the governor's business is done through me. I handle the affairs of the port, as you have heard. That's why you're here. If you have business with Sean, you could work through me and I could help you out.
Well, I happen to be a very good musician. He might be interested in hearing me play.
That is quite possible. And I would be more than happy to ask him that very question.
Well, I figure, having some entertainment from out of town might be quite the thing if you're throwing a party.
Especially, my dear, if it is the entertainment from your hands.
Aw, start.
I will...
Keep going.
I will pose the question to the governor. Indeed, I will, and perhaps, my dear, I will be inviting you to dinner at the Old Fort. If you would be so
delighted.
kind.
We're going to have to get you a very nice outfit.
Oh, I might have something.
I'm sure that you do. Well, is there anything else I can help you with, Deg?
No, I don't think so. The port master will help us get our cargo into the right warehouse, I take it.
Indeed. Give him this note and he'll take care of everything.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Good day.
Good day.
See you later.
Where are you staying? If I should call, he looks at you, Farah. About the entertainment piece.
Well, we've got are we going back to the ship or are we going to be staying about town?
Oh
Let's
my,
say
well.
we'll be at the anemone.
Yeah, maybe leave notice at the anemone.
That is a brilliant idea. In fact, I would love to cover your room, dear. You can have your
that's so
own
kind of you.
space. It is a long journey from Monmerg, and I'm sure it would be nice to have your own room for a couple of nights while you're here. So, on me.
Well, thank you very kindly.
Very well, then. I have much to do. Have a wonderful day. Welcome to Narisban.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
He stands up, kind of fixes his suit coat, and just kind of does a little bow.
And Feyre just winks at him and then leaves. So, and as we get out, I'll go, so what do we need in the
Oh my.
Duke's
We-
governor's residence?
We need access to
Well.
Solana, which,
Yeah.
to be fair, the governor may be one of the better ways to do, because it sounds like Solana's wanted for murders.
We
Yeah.
could talk to Pierce.
The commandant?
Wait.
Of the
Yeah.
watch, yeah.
I was thinking that as well.
Well, I guess.
No need to go all the way to the top.
It never hurts, though, if the opportunity presents itself. And that man seemed like he definitely wanted to present some opportunities to Feyre. Which, well done, by the way, dear. Well done. You're good at what you
Yeah.
do.
Wow. Oh, you got a room out of that.
Hey, who am I to turn down free stuff?
Could do me a favor. Could you just say out loud, I've always relied on the kindness of strangers.
I have always relied on the kindness of strangers.
I think I saw you on a stage play once.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, so he's supposed to be stark raving mad, though. I mean, do you think we're gonna?
We should probably go talk to this Master Referum, just to get a lay of whatever the hell's going on.
It would be nice to have all the information before we
Yeah.
go there.
Perhaps Byron can talk the correct type of stark raving mad.
Oh, Byron's a very specific kind of stark raving mad.
If you know
I
what I
mean-
mean.
Here.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Maybe we should go.
I'm gonna wink
Talk
and
to this
nudge,
ref
or do you want me to stab?
It's Captain Solana. We don't want to.
Oh yeah, he's our friend. Yeah,
He's,
you're right.
he's your guy.
We need information
Yep.
from him.
He's our guy. Are you kidding me? I've never met the guy.
He's,
where's
he's
the,
in your club.
Where's
Not my
that
club.
part of town he was talking about? Oh,
The
there
Froth
it
in
is.
Lowtown?
Yeah.
Theo just points to the shitty part along the shore where there's a cloud hanging over it. It's right there.
The brown
It's a part of
spot on the
where
map.
it's under-
You can tell because
Yeah,
there's a
it's a
cloud of
dark
shit
spot.
over it.
Oh, I was like, where is this place?
The
I was
lights
like,
don't seem to
oh,
work there, and it's always dark.
Yeah.
It's almost as brown as Byron's britches.
The
So if
Hey, they
we're
were just
water.
Just a little brown.
Wait a second. Wait, I never did anything like that.
What was that, Feyre?
I was gonna say that I do have the ability to possibly fix his brain, or at least have a shot at it. But I need
I thought you were just making that up. Shit.
some diamond dust.
Well, we know where to get it at least. How much do you need?
100 gold pieces worth.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Shit. It's not like
Well-
you need diamonds or anything. That's very different.
Yeah. In fact, if you have diamonds, I could. They'll be real useful, especially if you get into a lot of fights.
You get into a lot of fights.
might have some back on the boat. Well, why don't we go talk to this Charm, see if he has any more information before we go talk to Solana. What
All
do you
right.
think?
You mean talk to the guy in
Referum.
Lowtown? Yeah, Referum. There we go.
Sharn was the governor.
You don't need to go all the way to the top.
But it
Not
doesn't
right away.
hurt.
No, that's a good way to get bad.
Getting used to my names.
You're not
Names.
wrong. But
Well,
since
I'm
I'm
just
not
thinking-
the person on the lead on that, I'm less worried about it.
I'm just thinking we go to Solana, leave, go talk to Referum. You might find out a bunch of stuff we need to ask Solana about. So,
I agree. Let's go talk to Referum.
all right.
All
we
right.
head to Lowtown.
Lowtown. All right. So as you make your way, you can see that there is a very distinct change in the atmosphere as you move out of the market district and you enter into this sort of low-lying, sort of old, decaying district of town, and there are crumbling, like worm-eaten hovels that are lining these muddy streets of what the folks call, what you've heard to refer to as the Froth. And it's a low area, so you're actually coming down off of the area of the old fort that's up on a hill, and you come down even farther into this sagging, marshy, black area. There are chimneys from a variety of buildings that are just belching black smoke, sagging gamble rooftops that are dripping wet with decay. There's like, looking around, you can see that a lot of the buildings are sort of falling apart, and they've got this black mold that is sort of fuzzy on the surface of the wooden buildings. Feyre would be very offended by the smell of rotting fish. There's like this acrid green and yellow vapor that sort of hangs low, and it must be like the prevailing winds or something, or you're just not quite sure. But all of that smoke just kind of hangs, and it's actually dark in this area. Visibility is difficult, and you make your way towards what you can only assume to be. Well, did you get directions? I suppose you probably got directions.
Yeah.
To reference place, right?
You described the place as well. It's ramshackle right on the edge of the water.
Okay, got it. Yep. So you indeed walk towards it. You approach what you believe to be Rephrum's workshop, and you see again this ramshackle building covered with like dripping slime. It's right on the edge of this miasma of muck and water that almost threatens to like suck the building into the marsh. It's just nasty. There are broken shingles on the rooftop, and as you approach, you can see that parts of the roof are covered with these torn and like almost moth-eaten tarps.
You know, I have been in some slums before, but this is unnatural even for them.
Yeah, what is that stuff?
Tenoch, do you think it's cursed?
Some kind of slime.
No.
Feyre's gonna snap her fingers and change her cloak into like kind of a dark gray, unassuming cloak with a hood, and like flip her hood up over her bright white hair. Yeah, this neighborhood is a little sketchy, don't you think?
Oh, we're well past sketchy. The last set of murders we investigated happened in a sketchy neighborhood, and this is way worse.
I've seen worse.
All
All
right,
right.
guys.
The dripping mold on everything, that's worse. That's
that's-
kind of unnatural.
If
You
we
know
stay
that,
here
Rose,
any
you don't
longer,
see
I'm
that
gonna have
too
to
often.
clean something.
Oh, just clean
All
the
right.
whole town then.
Which one is Charms? Which one, or not Charms? Like which one is Rephrum's house?
You see it right in front of you as you're walking out. It's the only standing like house for, it's hard to even call it a house. But as you walk up, you see 3 dirty looking figures standing on the edge of this marshy wetland, and there's like this rickety old dock that they're standing on, and you hear one of the people crying, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Just look at, we've been raided by Lord Gazumba! Oh my god!" And thank you all for
Put
being
this
here.
Lord
We
Gazumba
appreciate
to the
it.
sword.
Thank you for the raid, everybody. We are in Narisban on the South Ulman Island, and we are investigating a few things. You have, my friends, getting back to the game, you have come upon 3 dirty figures that are standing on the shoreline,
Oh man, you had me going.
calling out and crying.
They're actually calling out, like
Yeah.
they're in trouble.
Oh my god! Help him! Help him!
What's going on? What happened?
You rush up to them, and you see that they are holding each other. There's a man, there is an old woman who's kind of standing off to the side, and then there's a younger woman. They're all very dirty, and the young woman points out, "He's out there, Rephrum. He's somewhere out there. I don't know why. Look, can you see it?"
I will look out to the
Yeah,
water.
I want to look.
If you look, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Oh, I'll do it. You got it? Okay.
Oh, I'm doing it. I think
Hey.
several of us are doing it.
Ooh, wow. 24,
But
24.
y'all are doing way better than me. I got a 23. Holy shit.
All right, so
Tenoch even got a
Yeah.
19. We see
You get a
everything.
perception, and you get a perception.
Rhunar, on the other hand.
Rhunar,
I can't get to the window. You guys are like blocking it.
you all run up and you look out, and everybody, Rhunar, you kind of look out into the marsh, and you can't. There's this hanging smoke
mud.
that's just low and blocking visibility. But Tenoch, Theo, Byron, and Feyre, you are able to make out a couple of figures. You can't quite see who they are or what they are, but you see, let's see, everybody but Tenoch, you see 2 figures that seem to be holding a third, trying to move away. Tenoch, actually, you see that, but there's one other thing that you don't see. that the others do, and it's a fourth figure off to the side in a different area, and they all seem to be moving away from the dock into the marsh. And the woman says, "They're taking him! They're taking him away!"
Did they hurt?
Yeah.
Did they hurt you?
Of course they are. Theo just immediately gives chase.
Yeah.
All right,
start
so
running.
let's do this. We're gonna get into a little initiative order. So let me bring folks over to this map that we have here.
Yeah.
How do maps work?
Dock fight. Dock
Kind of gives
fight.
you a visible representation of the scene that's about to unfold.
That sounds
if
like
you will.
witchcraft to me.
It kind of is, actually, in a way. So here are some things that you see. Everybody but Rhunar sees this here. And everybody but Rhunar and Tenoch see this here. And there are 4 individuals that are moving away. Go ahead and let's get a...
What are these guys?
Or are
What
these
the fuck are these guys?
these 3
Let me
next to
clear
us?
A
this
are-
fucking
out real
problem.
quick.
Wait a
What?
minute.
All right, you guys. So
What
go ahead
the
and click your
hell are they?
tokens and roll some initiative for me. What the hell are they is right.
Oh, we gotta start way back there. Are
Well,
we
yeah,
up with
that's
these
what
people?
happens when you roll really bad.
Yeah, you're up at the dock. You can move your tokens up to that
Okay.
dock area. That's fine. Let me get an initiative in here for them. There we go. All right. So let's see. We have at the top of the order Rhunar. You don't see anything yet.
Ah!
You're like, what? What's out there? What are you guys looking at?
All right, so I'm gonna start racing out. Is this what kind of ground is this?
Swamp.
So there's a dock there, right? A wooden dock that's super rickety. There is you're standing on this sort of soaking wet, like muddy ground, and then it's like water and muck, and it's some spots there's a little bit of vegetation showing, but there's a sheen of water over the top of it. It is indeed difficult terrain in the parlance of Dungeons and Dragons.
Time to get the boots dirty, and I'm gonna start as fast as I can. I don't know how far I can make it.
Well, you have your movement, and then you also could use your action if you'd like to dash. So you could do that, which would give you your full movement, because both of those would be halved.
So that's 30 feet.
Yep.
I'm
And
gonna
the
use-
minute you step in there, your feet are soaking wet, and you can, as you move through it, you go up to your knees and then up to your thighs, and you get this sort of sulfuric odor that comes up from the muck. If you've ever been in like a bog, it releases like this sulfuric gas, and it smells really, really bad, like decay.
Oh, it's gross out here. Can I see any of the people yet?
Go ahead and roll a perception check. You're just kind of waiting out.
I just love that Rhunar just dives in. I don't see anything. I'm gonna just wait out there.
Yep, he's a hero. What can he say?
17.
I know.
Yeah, you
Fucking
do
Marines.
see you see this group over here. You, however, do not see this individual over here yet.
All right, I'm gonna pull out my bow, and I'm gonna say, "I see him. I'm gonna take a shot," and I'm gonna try to shoot this guy.
Okay. Take a shot.
Shot.
That was yesterday.
Sorry, it's been a while. I gotta find it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go.
Been a while since I've had to roll these dice.
17.
Nice.
It hits.
I don't
You
know why it
fling
rolls all
a
that extra
fling an
stuff.
arrow from your longbow, and it strikes.
Okay,
And
so that's just 11 piercing,
okay.
and I'm gonna spend a superiority dice to try to make that a trip attack.
Okay.
Actually, sorry.
Actually.
I'm going to make that a disarming attack.
Okay.
And I'll add my superiority dice to. Okay. Sorry. So that gets added to the where is it? Okay, that gets added to the damage, so it's total of 13 piercing, and he needs to make a strength saving throw.
All right, strength save. I rolled a 18.
Oh yeah, that beats it.
So he doesn't have to drop his weapon. Is that what that means?
Well, you make them drop something. And
got it.
Make them drop the guy.
Drop the guy. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, that didn't seem to work. But I think you do have a second attack, don't you? You have an extra attack.
I have an extra attack. I'm gonna shoot again.
All right, do it.
Yeah.
This time I'm gonna make it a sharpshooter shot, and I'm gonna spend one of my advantages.
There you go.
Get advantage on that. Okay, all these dice will not the superiority.
Oops, all dice.
Oops, all dice. Here we go.
Oops, all crits.
Ooh, 27 minus 5 for 22 to hit, and that's for 21.
Whew. Yeah,
damage.
That definitely hits.
When in doubt, put an arrow through his
What
chest.
kind of damage is this?
This is piercing.
Okay.
And
just straight piercing damage.
Yeah.
Got it.
Straight piercing all day, every day.
You know what the heck? I'm going to spend another superiority die. Can I do that twice in one turn?
You tell me.
Just when you use it, it says.
Fighter.
Then you can.
Or maneuvers here.
Oh yeah, you can use all the maneuvers.
That means you can.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, you can only use one maneuver per attack. But if you have more than one attack.
Okay. So that's Dave. That's an extra 5 damage.
Yeah, nice.
And then he needs to make another strength saving throw or drop the guy.
All right, strength save coming right up.
No, you didn't pay attention. To what I said.
19.
Oh man.
This guy's
All right.
strong.
You didn't pay attention to what I said. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I forget that
Extra
sharpshooter
attack.
isn't a maneuver.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
All right. Anything else from Rhunar?
Nope, that's it. That's everything.
All right. So that brings us to them. So
Blubberhead.
Yep. So let's see here. Rhunar, you fire off 2 shots from your bow, both hitting, and you just kind of hear this sort of wet thwap as the arrows hit this creature. Something you can't quite make out in the distance. I need you to I'm gonna roll. You watch as this tendril comes erupting out of this strange amorphous creature coming towards you and tries to grasp you.
Wait,
That's disgusting.
wait, what?
I love it.
That's a 23 to hit.
That's a long tendril.
Tentacles are long, bro.
Oh,
You are
Squid dudes.
currently grappled and you are restrained and you have disadvantage on strength checks.
I don't get to try to resist that at all.
You can. There's an escape DC on your turn.
Okay.
But there's still more. But wait, there's more. It pulls you. It reels you towards it, pulling you a total of 25 feet in its direction. You guys just watch as this tendril comes out and slaps around Rhunar, like around his chest, and starts dragging him back out into the marsh.
That thing's got a slap bracelet.
It's got me.
And that brings us to Byron.
All right. One question: do I start as far back as I am? I noticed
No,
it's
you're
above.
up. You're up right about there.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Hell yeah.
So, I see everything going on, so I'm going to go ahead and move to the end of the dock. I know it's a little rickety, so I'm going to do my best to keep my footing. Once I get to the end of the dock, I'm going to pull my booming blade, or not my booming blade, my blink dagger, and I'm going to whip it as hard as I can directly at one of the tendril that I believe I saw grasp Rhunar. And I'm going to try and hit that by throwing it.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
And as far as I remember, I have one advantage left.
Let's take a peek. Byron, you do indeed have one advantage left.
I will use that last advantage.
Okay. Very smart. And folks who are watching, if you want to get involved and help to sway the combat in one way or the other, you can yourselves donate bits to influence and give folks advantage or luck points. Advantages obviously rolled at the time of the attack or the skill check, and luck points can be used after the fact to reroll. That's a lot of dice.
Yep. So that's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits the tendril.
Yep. So I'm blanking on whether or not that's actually a sneak attack. Does it count as a sneak attack with the other guy being present?
Nope, it isn't.
Nope. Okay, so it's not. So the sneak attack damage is out.
North Shore DM just gave Rhunar an advantage because he's going to need it.
So it would be 8 damage, and
Thank
I will
you.
teleport to them.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right.
And so it hits them, and as it hits them, I like materialize holding the dagger in my hand, and I pull it out, and I'm ready to keep going.
Dave, was it that guy that shot me that's dragging me?
Yes, the one that you hit
wow.
with the arrows. And I am looking for...
It's got a long reach.
What was the total damage on that? It was 8?
I believe 8, yes.
Yep. All right, so let me just double check something. Okay, the tendril is not severed, but you definitely did damage to the tendril. Anything else from Byron? That's a lot of dice.
That's it.
All right, that brings us to Tenoch.
I cast Mage Armor.
Smart.
And then I will. I'll say to these 2 people on the dock, please get the fuck out of the way. We'll take care of this.
Oh my god, save him! You've got to save Rephram! They listen to you and they'll just move out a turn to get out of the way. All right, Theo.
And then I'll move a little bit onto the dock.
You got it.
Given that space.
You got it.
Theo manifests Kalistani and kind of, in Byron's general direction, just goes, slams the point of the magic greatsword into the ground, disappears in a flash of bright blue light, casting Dimension Door, and reappearing between these 2 weird-looking fuckers, just going, "Hello, boys." And that is my turn.
Which is hello in their language.
Oh, well, how friendly. And that's all I've got.
Okay. The party is everywhere. I am going to move forward a little bit. 5, 10. And then this is half.
20, movement, yep.
30. And then I am going to activate my Mantle of Inspiration. So everybody within 60 feet of me will immediately get 8 temporary hit points. And I believe
Nice.
they get an extra move action. Hold on a
Come
second.
again?
Yeah, let me
What's that?
uh
That's
Drop
important.
that. There we
drop
go.
the Mantle of Inspiration.
Use a
there.
bardic inspiration. Everybody in
Oh,
60
yeah.
feet gets number equal to your charisma modifier hit points. Oh no, that's number of people. Each of them gains 5 hit points. It can immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Increases hit points to 8. So you have 8 hit points, 8 temporary hit points, everybody, and you all get to move half your speed because you're at in difficult terrain.
Except for me.
Except for
Rhunar.
Tenoch.
Runar's
That's
currently
true, yeah.
restrained.
Restrained and grappled.
I'm gonna move to the end of the dock.
I'm gonna wiggle my head a little bit.
Theo
allow
is
it.
exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I am too.
I fucking
Okay,
love that ability.
It's
That's
pretty
my
cool.
bonus action.
That's fucking magical. Yeah.
College of Glamour Bard right there.
Yeah, right? Can do some good stuff.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna try it. You said I can see this one guy who's out here.
You can. Yep.
Okay. I am going to try to cast sleep on him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I would like to cast it at level 2.
Okay.
Oh, say all the levels.
Let's cast a level 9 sleep, please. Level 9.
Right. That's,
So
that's not
23
bad.
hit points of sleep.
Yeah. Does that
does-
do anything?
Does not have an effect.
Okay. All right.
You maybe see like a little.
There's a couple
That's
of
it.
a couple of fish like rise to the surface. Maybe
It's
a
like
bird
shocking
falls
the
out of
stream.
the air.
Oh,
Anything
darn it.
else
These
from
guys look
Feyre?
tough. That's it.
Okay. Rhunar, you are currently restrained, so just as a reminder, your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage. What would you like to try to do?
I want to try to break free.
Okay.
Break free.
Go ahead and roll a strength. Let's see, strength. Hold on, let me double check. Da-da-da-da-da.
Usually it's athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah, either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. I'm going to use another one of my advantages for this, and I
Very
will use
smart.
acrobatics. Is that a saving skill
Nope.
check?
It's a skill
Okay.
check.
All right. 16.
16. What did I say it was? Yep, you break free.
Man, I rolled a 5 and a 7.
Yeah, it's like, I rolled terrible. I only got a 16.
It was
Oh,
close.
wow.
It was very close.
Runar's an acrobatic motherfucker. All right.
Yeah, luckily.
So I broke out.
You broke out.
That's my
Um,
action, though, right?
That is your turn.
Oh, that's my whole turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
No
that's
movement?
your turn. Nope.
Okay.
So then that brings us to these creatures. Thanks for the sub. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Let's see. So, Byron, as you come up close, this creature, you see it. It is this sort of translucent white, almost like there's a sheet that's stretched across what appears to be a humanoid, maybe a human face that's sort of underneath, and it's like blue veins, and it's got these long tentacles, and it is going to reach out and touch you
Oh no.
with one of its tentacles.
Oh.
That's a
That
bad
sounds
touch.
bad.
So it is a 21 to hit,
Oh yeah, you betcha.
and you are going to take 21 psychic damage,
Oh, that's me.
Boy.
and
Whoa.
you have disadvantage on wisdom saving throws until the end of this creature's next turn.
Dave, did he just while adjacent to me attack my friend?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, then I would like to retort using Sentinel's ability and use my reaction to sword him a question.
Okay, do it.
And that question is murder.
Please, by all means, save your friend. Byron, you just feel this searing sensation in your brain of just psychic pain. It almost kind of knocks you off your feet, but you maintain your position. What was the roll
19 to hit?
Yeah, that definitely hits.
And 13 slashing.
Yeah, you cut right across its back, and like this milky white fluid kind of falls out, mixing with the dark mud of the ground.
Nope, do not like those. Nope.
No. Luckily, it has a couple more attacks, so it is going to swing around at you as you cut it with its sword. It's going to jab you with the trident.
Oh, good, they've got tridents.
Mm-hmm. That was a natural 20.
What?
It doesn't hit. Actually, it has disadvantage if it's a number of things, so you may need to roll an extra dice with that, because I do have that torch amulet, and it affects aberrations, celestials, elementals, fays, and fiends, and I feel like it might be an aberration.
It is one of those things, and it does have disadvantage. It's still a 26 to hit, but it's not a natural 20.
I'll take it over a crit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be 14 piercing damage, and it's going to jab you a second time.
It's going to
before it jabs him a second time.
Yes, sir.
Did it just hit my friend while I was adjacent to it?
It did. Indeed, it did.
This is what I set this up for.
So I'm gonna hit it again.
Please do.
And I'm gonna get sneak attack damage on this one because I got advantage.
It's very true.
This is why we use the buddy system.
Stick him.
Yeah,
So
that
a 21 to hit for
That's a lot.
27
damage.
Yeah, you cut. Is this a knife attack? Your blink dagger?
This would be my blink dagger.
You drive it in, and it just cries out. 27 total. Let me just mark this down. Wow. Yeah. It is looking like it's about to drop its trident, but before it does, it's going to jab again at Theo, and actually it's going to have advantage because you are flanked. So it should have been a straight roll last time.
Which
we
means
got a flank train going. 23 to hit on this one for 9 more piercing.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Rolling.
And then the one behind you, to the left side, is going to attack as well. It is going to reach out and touch you on the first attack.
Reach out and touch Theo.
18.
Does hit.
That's only 24 psychic damage.
Oh, well, you know.
And then it's going to jab you with its trident. 16.
Does not hit.
All right. It has one more attack, fortunately for me. But I rolled a 10, so that's not going to hit either. So somehow you get zapped with the searing energy, and then you manage to dodge out of the way. This other creature that Pharaoh is trying to sing a lullaby to is going to move away and actually disappears into the marsh. And that brings us to Byron.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stab this guy again. I mean, just makes the most sense to me. Before I do that, I'm gonna, having stabbed it just recently, as I'm pulling out the dagger, you know, I'm gonna pull the dagger up to my lips and I'm gonna whisper something to it. And then as I plunge it again, it's gonna be even more powerful. This one shouldn't be at advantage though. It's an 18 to hit.
That it will hit. Absolutely.
So I'll do 29 damage plus 2d8 thunder damage because I'll use Booming Blade. A loud thunder crash will rip through the ground, the wound will ripple. It'll give that like when the T-Rex stomps in Jurassic Park.
When you
Yeah.
punch a guy in slow motion and you just see the jiggle.
Holy
jiggle,
shit.
jiggle.
So what's the total? That's going to be 36?
So it'll be 29 plus 7. So yes, 36
Oh, shit.
total damage.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You cut through this thing and then hit it with the booming blade, and it cries out in pain and falls into the water and just sort of like in like a pool of its own flesh, just sort of dissipate into the water. And you can see now as you kind of look down at it, dropping it, that there is almost like a human inside of it, like almost like a, I don't know, like it was absorbing the human perhaps.
Gross.
But yeah, it is dead.
Theo's going to look at Byron and be like, that is a new trick. I like that trick.
I will then use my cunning action to swing my way self around to this other one over here.
Hey, thanks, Phantom. Much appreciated. Thanks for the gift subs. You are awesome. Love your support.
Let me just double
check, because it's going to matter. You see Rephram, Theo, just sort of like cowering, surprise, eyes wide, as he sort of slips the grasp of the creature that was killed and looks up at you. Byron.
All right, yep. I'm going to move all the way around it to the back because I can use cunning action to dash.
Got it. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? All right, Tenoch.
That's it.
Like the large hunting cats of the jungle, I will strike from the shadows, because I'm sure he can't really see me. It doesn't matter because magic missile gives 0 fucks.
That's true.
It has no chill.
How about a 4th level magic missile?
How about it?
That is a 0 chill magic missile. That's negative
really
chill
is.
at that point.
Yeah, so that's
You'd be stressing this
3,
creature with those magic missiles.
3, 4, 5, 6, 6d4 plus 4, or 6d4 plus 6. Here's 5.
Oof.
Here's 1. So
Oof.
that's 10. 16 points of force damage
Okay.
at that little guy there.
It's 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blasts. Is that what it is? These bright lights just streak across this dark marsh and blast into this strange amorphous creature right between you, Byron, and Theo. It's kind of like a fireworks show right in front of your faces. Anything else, Tenoch?
You're doing good.
Thanks.
In fact, Theo, it is now your turn.
Well, I think it's time to punch this guy with a sword. Many, many times. 'Cause that hurt. That hurt. So, striking once, first time with advantage. Does 29 hit?
29 is going to hit hard.
That's 11 points. I should have hit him with the thing, but that's okay. We're too late for that as the second attack comes in.
Okay. Byron, don't forget to update your token hit points, please.
Does a 17 hit?
A 17 is going to hit. Yes, indeed.
16 more slashing.
Okay. You cut through it with 2 big swings of Kalistani, and the sword is just glowing, and it cuts through like a hot knife through butter, but it's still standing as bits of it fall off into the water below.
Oh, I don't like that, but I'm going to hold my ground.
That brings us to Feyre.
I am going to move forward in this muck.
Your feet are soaking wet, by the way.
Yeah, I'll clean myself up later. So 1, 2, 3 is all I get. And then I'm gonna take out my crossbow and I'm gonna shoot that thing.
Okay.
All right.
A 19 is going to hit.
Okay. It's 6 piercing.
Okay. It's still up just barely. It looks like it's teetering from your perspective, Byron and Theo. Anything else, Feyre?
No, I don't think so. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're up to where Rhunar is standing now, and Rhunar, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna pull my bow again.
Mm-hmm.
Take another shot at him.
Okay.
Well, I haven't shot this one yet, but shooty shoot. Ooh, 22 minus 5, so that's what, 17?
17.
You used an advantage, sorry.
No, sorry, no, I didn't use advantage for that. I had it on.
Then
Didn't
that's
call
a
it,
10.
though. So yeah, that's a 10.
10 misses.
So I imagine that misses.
Yep.
You know what? I'll use another advantage.
Smart.
Use them while you got them.
Yep.
And do that this time. Take another shot. Extra attack.
Hiya.
There we go. 21 to hit
That hits.
for 21 piercing.
Describe for us your killing blow.
It's just a real precision shot right through one of the eyes of the creature. Just shoots right out, right through him.
Comes out the other end and flies off into the darkness.
Yep.
And Theo and Byron, as you're readying yourselves to engage with another attack, it just slumps into the water. And you look down at Rephraim, who's just shaking. And we are out of initiative order.
Master Rephraim, I presume?
Yes, who the hell are you? Help me up! Help me up!
Theo kind of helps us. We're friends of Captain Solana.
Oh, Vincent, we have much to talk about. Please, get me out of here. Let's go. There could
Help
be
him up.
more.
Are those things normal?
I've never seen them before, ever.
Oh, good. Yes, let's get everything out of here.
Come, we must go. We must go. And he and you all make your way back to the dock and to dry land. He hugs some of the people that are standing there, the small group of Lowtowners, and essentially you have saved Rephraim, and he's sitting on the stones at the end of the dock, holding his head in his hand, and you can see that he's injured. It looks as though he has been hit with something similar to that psychic blast that some of you experienced.
Is anybody hurt real bad?
I'm okay.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel great either, but I'll be fine.
All right, let's see what I got.
Byron, you say that when you are literally dying.
No, I'm good, man. I still got both my hands, I think.
One of them's turning into a tentacle.
I will
Sweet.
cast Cure Wounds at level 2 on Theo. Okay. Level 2. Please take 12 points of healing.
Nice.
I will take that. Yes, thank you.
And let's see. I will cast Cure Wounds level 1 on Rephraim.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
that's
very
12
kindly.
healing.
I feel great.
And then I will cast level 2 Cure Wounds on Byron.
As you're doing this, the onlookers sort of fade off into they walk home essentially, and Rephraim looks up at you and says, "I would like to gather some things if you wouldn't mind. You'll introduce yourselves later. I'd like to go. I'd like to get out of the froth.
Yes. Let's go
Would you
inside.
escort me back to
Well, the market district. That
Sure,
would be
lead the way.
Very kind.
We'd
of
all
you.
like to get out of the froth, yes.
Let me gather a few things. And he goes inside the cabin. You can hear him sort of like crashing around and pots falling and a smash of glass. And he comes out and he's got this bundle, this book and all these papers that seem to have been shoved into the book. And he holds it close, and you guide him back to the anemone, we'll say. And you have a very dazed and somewhat confused Rephram that you have saved. And immediately upon getting to the anemone, he orders a drink. He does not order the gut punch. I know you're all wondering. He orders a mug of wine and sits down at a table and sort of just, he's silent as he drinks his drink.
So,
What were those things?
They came, I believe they came to take me away. I don't know why, but it could be in these papers here. Could be in these papers. This place is, I believe it's cursed. You know Solana, you know of my friend. He has lost his mind. But I don't think he murdered those people, I tell you. And he starts getting like really agitated.
Are we
okay, calm
public?
down. We agree.
Where are we again?
In the
You're back at
anemone.
the anemone.
In the anemone. Should
Yeah.
we go up to one of our rooms?
That's probably a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Well, grab your drinks. Let's go upstairs. We can talk somewhere more private.
Please, my name is Master Remfram, but I must rest before I can tell you. I have so much I can help you with. If you're friends of Vincent, you can help me then. We'll go through all of this. And he's sort of like rustling all these papers. I have so much.
That sounds great.
It's all right here. I just need to rest a bit.
Take your time.
Okay, we've got a couple of rooms apparently. Let's let him take a nap.
Can I do a medicine check on him first, just to make sure that he's like not gonna have a swamp creature burst out of him or something weird?
Sure, absolutely. You kind of give him a little bit of a once over. Do you
Not
kind
that
of
we've ever had that happen.
pat him down a little bit?
All right.
You give him a cursory, standard physical examination, and he appears to be, after your healing magic, to be physically fine.
Okay.
He seems to be healthy. I mean, he's an older man, but he seems to be fit and spry. But there's something not right with his head, for sure. And you can tell that he's exhausted.
I don't suppose you have any diamond dust on you.
that we'd need to go to the market for that. Do you need me to go to the market and pick you up some diamond dust?
That would probably be a good idea if everybody's going crazy.
Okay. Theo will go to the market and try to get 100 gold pieces of diamond dust from the fine salesperson.
Do you have
I'll go.
100 gold?
I'm gonna get it from the captain.
God damn
Captain.
it. All
Thank
right,
you, Captain.
I'll reach into my bag of holding and count out 100 gold for you.
Now,
Probably
in
give
this,
me a little.
I was just going to say, for the sake of time, because we're getting close to the end of tonight's session, we'll say that you have no problem acquiring 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust. Okay. It is now sort of later in the day, moving into evening. Rephram is passed out sleeping in the room. You guys have an opportunity at this point to either, we'll just kind of fast forward, to either stay at the anemone or stay back on the ship. Depending on what you want to do for the night. What would you like to do?
Stay at the anemone. Anemone. Can't say
Well, we
that.
got one free room.
Well, we'll just re-up. Can we just like rent our room again?
Absolutely.
Is there one available?
Yep. You can have a room if you want. The one room is still available, and then you have the room that Fulch purchased for Feyre. So you have two rooms there, should you want them.
So, Dag, switch rooms with me.
All right.
No reason.
In case that guy shows up
Just in
tonight.
case.
All right.
I mean, he was a very handsome man, but I just do not like the idea of the possibility that someone could just show up.
Mm-hmm.
No one
Cut-
does.
Cut to Falch, and he's got like a bunch of cologne that he's slapping on his face, and just in his tie.
Wait. While this is all going on and everybody's in one place, Theo will say, "Wait. Okay, I got that diamond dust. Do you need it now?"
Well, do you think I should cast something on our friend here to straighten his brain out?
Do you want me
I think
carrying
he's
it?
just.
No, give it. Give it.
Okay, there we go. So Theo goes into his bag, and it's a bag of holding. He rifles around, and he pulls out a black pirate flag adorned with a dragon skull and crossbows. Goes, "This isn't it?" And just kind of shoves it to Rhunar. Here, hold this. Digs around, pulls out a key, kind of an old, rusted, possibly covered in bugbear blood that we definitely got from somewhere. Goes, nope, this isn't it. Just shoves that into Byron's hands. Pulls out a book. This is a spell book. No, Tenoch, hold this. Then keeps going. Pulls out another finely bound book that says Principles of Navigation. What the fuck? Okay,
A
no,
little
Feyre, hold
light-rated.
this. And then finally, diamond dust. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. This will
Okay.
come in handy.
That way, you have it if you need it.
Well, absolutely.
So
How
these
thick
rooms
is-
that you have, you've got, the one room that Feyre was going to stay in that Rhunar is in now it's kind of a nicer room, and it's got one large bed, kind of like a queen size bed. The other room has, I think, just the one like twin bed.
We got it a double.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
They had to move. They had to
We
move
had
one
two
out.
beds last time.
They had to
Yeah.
move one
There
out
were
in
two
the
beds.
middle of the day while you guys were gone.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I'm joking. They didn't do that
Oh.
to you. That would be rude. Yeah, there's two beds in there. All right, you guys are gonna go to sleep.
Well, we're gonna
I'll
let.
pull an all-nighter.
Is it what time of day is it? I guess if
It's we're kind of fast forwarding to nighttime because
Alright.
we're gonna wind this down here in a minute.
yeah, I would say so.
Okay. You guys find a place, set yourself up. Some of you on the floor, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll just curl up on the carpet again.
Okay.
Actually, I probably have a bedroll, so I'll pull that out and put it
Yeah.
on top of the rug.
We basically are all
time.
having slumber parties.
Instead of
Except
sleeping, though, I
Rhunar.
think I'm going to work on the journal instead.
Oh,
Runar's
nice.
enjoying the queen size bed next door.
Just lounging.
Just stretching out.
There's like a pitcher, a carafe of really clean, beautiful looking spring water. A nice, beautiful glass to drink it out of.
Do you need somebody to watch over you in there?
There is, you look around as you kind of check it out. There's also a beautiful gown that has been left there, and you're not sure exactly why, or maybe you are. But
You need
eventually,
to wear
night
that.
comes to you, Rhunar. You sleep very well. We'll kind of pick up Byron next time with you doing the investigation. We'll take care of that next time. But Theo, in the middle of the night, you wake, agitated. You're kind of tossing and turning, and you get up and you see your friends snoring away. Kalistani immediately apparates in your hand for
Yeah.
no reason.
Oh, that's not
And-
good.
Did you purchase the chalk?
You didn't see? And it pulls out. Aha.
Should we practice again?
It's the only way to get it down, right?
Practice makes perfect, they say. You understand this now. You have
I
grown
do.
so much. Well, then, as I showed you, and you kneel down in a space in the room while everybody else is asleep, and you start to draw out the sigils, practicing as best you can to replicate the circle that you had seen in your dream at the ruined temple in a strange battle where you were you but someone else. You were Sir Madwan at that point. And as you work the circle, you can almost hear Kalistani whispering in your ear, giving you pointers on how to do it. No, this way. There you go. To the left, and then down, sweep. Yes, perfect. And as you make a final sigil, closing the circle, amazed that you've made it all the way around because you lost yourself in this, you see the glow of these sigils, almost like your sword glows when you're using it to fight the evils and the darkness. And it glows brighter and brighter, and suddenly there's this shimmering light that shoots up from the floor and envelops you as you're sitting in the middle of it. And it's glowing around you, and you look out and you can see your friends sleeping, but your body starts to buzz, the atoms of your body shaking and vibrating. And Kalistani just whispers in your ear, "It is time."
I know. Don't worry. They've got magic. They'll be okay.
The magical energy envelops you, right? Like a warm blanket, and you watch as the image of the room fades from view, fades from your consciousness. The glow of Kalistani starts to urge you forward, and now you feel like you're flying through like this void, right? A shimmering light racing faster and faster, speeding, buzzing with energy, and then you see this small pinprick of matter in the void, and it grows bigger and bigger and bigger as you hurtle towards it. You start to see this new reality extrude itself from the void, growing larger and larger, and in a moment, the buzzing sensation is gone, and you're standing on the rough stone floor at the center of what appears to be some sort of magical circle that matches the one that you had just drawn. You look up and you notice around you figures hooded, chanting in some strange abyssal language. And you look up, and beyond these figures, you see a familiar person kneeling before a stone dais with this shadow roiling above it. He stands and looks to you. It is Sir Kargoth. He says, "I knew we would meet again." And that's where we'll fade to black. And I just like to say, Michael, I know you're going to be gone for a bit, but it's been great having you.
It has been a blast. We have done so much crazy shit. Oh,
and
God.
you'll be back. You'll be back.
Yes.
So don't fret, folks. Michael is going to take a break and take care of some other things that he's got going on, some exciting things in his life. And he will join us in a couple of months.
Next we speak, I will be president of the world.
Wait, possibly a night. Possibly
That'll
a
come in
night.
handy.
It's a lot of paperwork.
I mean, between today and tomorrow, that's a lot.
You know, you got to strike while the iron's hot.
You absolutely do. And speaking of strike while the iron's hot, folks, if you're in the chat, we're doing a giveaway in just a couple of minutes. Please type in !drawing, and you could win, I don't know, a 46-page PDF that has a bunch of encounters that you can embed into your very own Saltmarsh campaign. You know what? If you're a player and not a DM, give it to your DM. They would love it. It gives them all kinds of juicy hooks and encounters, and there's a bunch of maps. What did I say? Like just a ton of maps. 49 maps. 49. It's a lot of maps. And ship tokens, which we've used on this show. So please get in on the action.
Saltmarsh. It could be any water-based or water-adjacent.
I hear there's a lot of water-adjacent settlements in the history of humanity in all settings.
Yeah,
that's true. You know, we're all mostly water, so it could be an encounter within yourself.
Every settlement is adjacent to water if there's people there.
That's right.
70%.
That's fair. That's fair.
Or these creatures that you just fought, which are even more than 70% water, as it turns out.
Yeah, they're like good solid 80, 85.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Water.
All right, so get in on this giveaway. Big shout out to CZRPG for the sponsorship. They've been with us for a long freaking time, and we appreciate that. Incidentally, Christian and his team just started a Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in here. He is teamed up with Mimic Maps, and they have a Patreon. They'll be, if you support them, you get really high-end maps and encounters, 4 of them each month. It's pretty awesome. So check it out. All right. So let's see. How are we looking here? We're looking pretty good, folks. Let's go ahead. Well, you're looking really good. The rest of you guys, pretty good. Let's go ahead and do a countdown, Ashley, because you always do a great job of counting down from 5. Let's do it.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Here we go, folks. Oh, Michael, you son of a gun.
And he sneaks
Congratulations.
it in out.
It's
on
a
the entrance.
parting gift for Michael. Very cool. Well, and I know that you'll use it in your games because that's what you do. You do
That is
cool
how
stuff
we
in your
roll.
games. Thanks to everybody for being here. We really appreciate that. I think we're gonna do a raid. Let's do a raid. Let me just check this out. Is
We have been
TTRPG
raided. Let us raid
Academy?
in turn.
Yeah, thanks a lot, folks, for the raids. Everybody for being here. It means a lot to us to have you join us. It really gets us fired up, and you guys came at a great time because we were just getting into some like serious battle. It does look like TTRPG Academy is playing, so let's go ahead and raid them.
Too.
Raid. Let's see if I can remember how to do this.
You press the button.
Yeah, I know. Is that how it's done?
Don't you have like a secret button for that?
Read.
So
You know, last
program
time I did that, it like
It didn't work.
broke things.
That's fair.
Here we go. Here's a raid. TTRPG.
Raid,
Yeah, there it is.
raid.
All right. You guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, everyone.
Hit them with the emotes. Let TTRPG Academy know that we're showing up. I'm going to jump over to the end screen. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Q&A, the wrap-up. Thank you, everybody. We love you. You're awesome. Thanks for being here.